The maple resin is one of the new best seeds in Grow a Garden, up there with the bone blossom and also the candy blossom. However, this one is a transcendent seed, which means the base value of this thing is even more. So this is one of the new best seeds that you can get inside of Roblox Grow a Garden, and I decided to grow every single mutation on this thing. Make sure to watch until the end of this video to see the value of the maple resin with every mutation on it. So we're gonna go ahead and plant our maple resin seed right here next to our pancake stack, and then with that we're gonna go ahead and spawn in about let's do 6 sugar apples there. Okay, and then real quick we're gonna spawn in my apple gazelle, and then I'm gonna have my main account come over here and hit that grow all button for us. All right, perfect. So here is the maple resin, and it actually looks really awesome. However, we're not going to use this one that grew in here. We're actually going to grow in a bigger one in just a second, but let's go ahead and use our apple gazelle to get the warp mutation. So I'm going to pick up these. Oh, there we go. That was only 2 of them and we're done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and travel this over here, so we have the warp mutation ready now, and then we're going to go ahead and reclaim these sugar apples just so they're out of the way, so there's less work for our spinos later. There we go. And we're going to go ahead real quick now and place an advanced sprinkler down right in this corner, and we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our 3 mandrakes here, and they all are boosted, so that's good. We're gonna go ahead and get our mandrake seeds. I already have them right here, and some watering cans. Then we're gonna go ahead and place a couple of these down at a time. We need to get that rot mutation done though, so hopefully we get it in this set of 6. If we don't, we're gonna have to get some more real quick. All right, we got rot applied to a mandrake, which is actually this one, so perfect timing. I'm gonna go ahead and travel this rotted mandrake over here to our collection, and we are good to go to start getting the other mutations done now. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and pick up these mandrakes and the apple gazelle now, and we are good with that. And then we're gonna go ahead and pick up this. Oh, there's actually more maple resin that grows in. I thought there was only the one. Okay. But we are going to pick up all these. We're going to go ahead and get our sprinklers down here. So let's go ahead and put down a, here's my Grandmaster. We're going to put down a Grandmaster sprinkler here. We'll do our Master sprinkler, the Godly. We need to get an advanced in there and a basic. And then there's also a maple sprinkler that we can get over here in the shop. That is for fall plants. I'm gonna go ahead and run over here and grab that real quick because I forgot about that. Okay, I gotta add some more Robux. Hold on. Plant, don't grow too fast. Hold on. All right, we should be good. Grab this. We gotta run back quick. Is that the right thing? Yeah, that's the right thing. All right, go. Run. All right, we got it. We're good. I'm gonna throw that in the stack. Should have had that done earlier. I'm sorry about that. But we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our mooncats now, and we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a triceratops to see how much growth this gives us. So we should be good. Now we should be able to get a pretty big maple resin to grow in and make some good money once we get all the mutations on it. I realized I forgot to get the Dawnbound mutation again on a plant. Now there is the new sugar glider pet that can copy mutation, and it's not like the spinos or remove it or steal it. I'll just copy it. So I'll have to do that from now on to move the Dawnbound mutation over. So we'll plan to get that in just a bit. But anyways, let's see where our mooncats sleep. Okay, we have a couple of them getting close to our maple resin here. Hopefully a couple of them stack up in a spot. All right, well, this is a pretty good stack over here though. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in there real quick. Let's let this consume all the mooncat boosts real quick. All right, that should be good. And then we're gonna go ahead and throw this back over here on our sprinklers. If it'll let me move it. There we go. Okay, that's a pretty big one there. That one looks pretty nice. Okay, we might have a winner. We'll keep trying though. We'll see what else we can get, and we'll have our triceratops hit it a couple times as well to see what we get. And perfectly, all our mooncats are sleeping right next to this. Not all of them, but you know, a good chunk of them. I'll go ahead and give our triceratops a toy as well, just to hopefully get a double hit on the maple resin to help a little bit. All right, triceratops is gonna smack it. Didn't really do much for us. All right, well, I feel like this might be a pretty big maple resin. I don't know. I think you could probably get bigger than this, but I guess we'll keep it since that one is pretty big there. And I think the value will be pretty good no matter what. So let's go ahead and favorite our maple resin then. And let's go ahead and pick up all of our pets we have currently placed down. Let's get a queen bee going here. Let's get our butterfly going. And then we're going to apply some mutations on this so we can turn it into rainbow. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the chocolate mutation, pollinated, windstruck, and then I will do a couple on my main account. Hold on, let me grab some sprays over there. All right, so on my main account, I'm gonna go ahead and add a chilled spray since we don't really need those, and a windstruck. Oh wait, I already did windstruck. What am I doing? I'll add a cloud touch. There we go. That's better. All right, so now our maple resin does have 5 mutations that can be converted to rainbow, so we'll unfavorite that, and we'll let our queen bee cool down our butterfly, convert these to rainbow, and then we'll be good to go. There's also a small one right there I'm gonna pick up. There we go. And all right, our maple resin is ready to go to become rainbow, so we'll do that once these cooldowns are completed. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a golden goose so we can get this guy's egg ready to go. And then on my main account, I'm actually going to go ahead and spawn in my kitsune and a queen bee over here as well. So that way the queen bee will cool down the kitsune, and then this guy will apply the chakra mutation to our maple resin, or at least one of our sugar apples, so we can get this thing to be chakra or foxfire chakra. And then also, to save some time later, I'm going to also spawn in a Raiju here. I'm going to place down a carrot seed, and then on my main account, I will apply the shock spray to the carrot. There we go. All right, so now we have the shocked mutation on our carrot, and then our Raiju will in a little bit eat this carrot with the shocked on it and convert it to static and apply that to our maple resin or our sugar apples. And I know a lot of people are like, Bandites, shocked is better than static. Why do you get it? Well, you can literally have both mutations, and when you get both mutations, then you can get Maelstrom, Storm Charged. Actually, you don't get Maelstrom from that, but you do get Storm Charged, and Storm Charged is a really good multiplier, so you kind of need like both of them. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, so our Raiju will eat that, add some static, and we should be good. And then yeah, that should be good. If it adds it to our maple resin, that's not a big deal. I actually will probably go ahead and just add some carrot seeds right here, just so it will hit one of these carrots. That way, in case it does just go directly on the maple resin, it's fine if it goes to rainbow, because we'll have it on a carrot over here, and that way the Raiju will be done and out of the way. All right, we're gonna wait for this to go to rainbow, and then we'll be back and continue getting mutations. All right, our Raiju is gonna eat that shocked carrot there and then apply it. And there we go. We have a couple of static carrots, which is perfect. And we also got one of our mandrakes over here static and some sugar apples. So we are good to go. I'm going to actually go ahead and pick up these carrots then, since we don't need these ones, since we have it on those fruits over there. And our Raiju is done with its job, so we can go ahead and pick up the Raiju. And then our golden goose will lay us a golden fortune egg in just a second. And then we'll use Spinos to move the fortune mutation over to our apple resin when we're ready to go with that. All right, so our queen bee is cooling down our butterfly, and our butterfly is applying rainbow to our maple resin. I think I accidentally said apple resin a second ago. Sorry about that if I did that. I don't know, bro. My brain breaks or something. But anyways, our maple resin is now rainbow, so we are good to go. I'm going to go ahead and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly, favorite the maple resin, and let's go ahead and add some sprays to this thing. So we're going to put pollinated back onto it. We're going to put, actually, we won't do windstruck. We also won't do glimmering because we have a couple of glimmering sugar apples still that we're going to save. So we're going to do pollinated. We're going to do chocolate. We're going to put down a honey sprinkler for honey glazed. And then on my main account over here, I'm going to go ahead and apply some extra sprays as well. So we have the shock spray we're going to reapply. We're going to apply the luminous spray, the cloud touch spray, and verdant. And there we go. We now are up to 8 mutations on this thing, and we're about to get plenty more. We also have my main account's kitsune that will hopefully apply foxfire chakra or chakra in just a second. All right, so here comes the kitsune, and I just boosted the kitsune as well, so we might be able to get foxfire chakra instead of regular chakra. Let's see. Here he comes. He's coming in. All right, we just got regular chakra, but we'll take that for now. We can probably get foxfire later when we AFK. And it is time to get started with some of our pets. Let's go ahead and go through all the guaranteed mutation pets first. We're going to go ahead and throw a peach wasp in here. Let's do our cockatrice. We'll throw in our phoenix. This guy will give us plasma. This guy will give us toxic. That guy will give us the flaming mutation, which can be converted to blazing and infernal. We'll go ahead and spawn in our lemon lion to get the brain rot mutation. And then we'll spawn in our pterodactyl for the tempestuous mutation, and our corrupt kitsune for the corrupt chakra or corrupt foxfire chakra mutations. And I think that's all of our guaranteed pets that we need to do. We already did the Raiju, so we're good with him. And perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure there's no other guaranteed pets. And in the meantime, I'll go ahead and spawn in some jackalopes here so we can get the sandy mutation done and out of the way and applied to something. And these guys are already boosted, so that's good. I'm also going to spawn in again some more carrot seeds just so our pterodactyl and corrupt kitsune have an easier time applying this mutation. The more carrots we have, honestly, doesn't hurt now that the fairy event's over, because we don't get the glimmering mutation spammed. So it'll just give us more opportunities for our pets to reach different fruits and apply mutations that we need. And I'm also going to restock on some carrots just so I have a good supply. All right, so I think this is a good setup here. We do have a bunch of new pets as well. So we actually do have the new swan pet here, which I don't think he's guaranteed, but he will give us the... I forgot the mutation name, honestly. I can't lie, I just forgot it. I just had a brain fart. Let me pick up a jackalope real quick so I can check out these pets. So the swan will give us the graceful mutation. There we go. So I think this is a guaranteed mutation, actually, because every 5 minutes graces a fruit with graceful. So we'll actually keep him spawned in. And then we also have the grizzly bear, which I believe gives us the fall mutation. We have the badger, which can give us the cracked mutation from the earthquake event. And then we also have the space squirrel that can apply the void touch mutation, which is pretty cool that we can actually get void touch now without a black hole event. So we'll use him in just a little bit as well. But this is a good setup for now. We'll wait for our jackalope to give us the sandy mutation. Then we'll check through some of our other pets and get all these guaranteed pets done and out of the way. And then we can set up for a nice little AFK setup. All right, so our lemon lion is now applying brain rot, and it's applied to one of our sugar apples, which is perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up, and I'm gonna spawn in another jackalope again just to help us get the sandy mutation done. And then I think we'll do like our grizzly bears and then like our space squirrel. We'll get these guys out of the way with the disco bees and the chicken zombies so we can get all those done, and then we'll set up for an AFK grind to get those longer mutations that take a while. So we'll go ahead and do that. Our swan's about to apply the graceful mutation, and actually I didn't realize the swan is like the mimic octopus, where every like 20 minutes it tries to apply a mutation from another pet. So that'll be really useful later for when we use the Spino, so we pretty much have an extra Spinosaurus. I'll be happy with that, so that's really nice. I'm gonna boost this jackalope just to try and help us give a better chance for Sandy to get done out of the way. Okay, that still is failing, but it'll be done eventually, okay?
You sure about that?
Our cockatrice will also give us toxic in just a second, and then we're about to get our swan done and out of the way. So let's see. Our swan's going to apply graceful to something. Okay, we got graceful on the maple resin. I don't know if it was this direct one. I think it's this one that's glowing right there, so we'll get that moved over later. But our swan's job is done for now. We can use it later as a mimic octopus, but for now we are good. So let's go ahead and pick up our swan, and let's see, is that going to apply Sandy? All right, perfect. We got Sandy added to a carrot, so our jackalopes are done as well. We can go ahead and move this Sandy carrot over to our little collection for our Spinos. You know, we can't really have silver, but I'll just throw it in there. Just why not? You know, what if the game bugs and gives us silver with rainbow or something? That'd be so cool. That'd be so awesome, dude. That'd be so awesome and cool. You would too. All right, anyways, our cockatrice is going to give us the toxic mutation now, and our pterodactyl will hopefully give us tempestuous in the next minute here. So we'll let those play out. But let me see. I think the space squirrel might be a guaranteed void touch mutation. Let me just double check. Okay, no, it only has a 15% chance. So this guy we might want to wait for our AFK grind and swap him in with one of our pets later. What about our badger here? I do have a giant badger. So every 2 minutes, he has a chance to apply the crack mutation. So I guess we'll try and do that. Okay, perfect. So we have toxic added to a couple of our carrots. Here's one of them. I'll go ahead and move this guy over. And I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in another badger. Since these guys have pretty short cooldowns, we'll use these guys to attempt to get the cracked mutation. I'm also going to boost them to give them a little bit of a better... I did not mean to boost that. Oh, no, I did boost the badger. I thought I boosted the Krupkadzun. But there we go. That'll give them a little bit of a faster mutation and hopefully a good enough boost to give us a better cracked mutation chance. All right, so work on trying to get cracked. Our pterodactyl is going to apply tempestuous. Hopefully, let's see. Okay, we did not get tempestuous, so we have to actually wait another 8 minutes for the pterodactyl. Bro, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? We're supposed to swap you out for another pet, but you know what? That's fine. All right, so I guess since that failed, I'm going to go ahead and use our grizzly bears next then to give us the fall mutation, since that's a new one, and we got to get that done and out of the way. And these guys have another pretty short cooldown of about only 4 minutes, and they have a 10% chance. They also make you a little bit of a bigger player model. That's interesting. So I guess I'm a little bit of a bigger boy now. Oh, did you apply? Oh, they actually applied it really quickly. I thought it was gonna be much smaller of a chance there, but we got cracked on a lot of carrots. Okay, I guess it's like a 10% chance for each carrot, so that's actually crazy, and it lasts a very long time. So, and it might be because this one's giant, that helps as well. All right, well, we do have the cracked mutation now, which is perfect. The first time I think I've actually gotten the cracked mutation, so we're good with that. I'm gonna go ahead and travel this cracked carrot over here. Thank you, badgers, for your help, and let's go ahead and get the disco bees ready then. But yeah, that was pretty quick and easy. So if the grizzly bears are like that as well, we should be able to get the fall mutation done. Let's actually see real quick. Fall mutation. Oh, okay. Well, that was actually quick as well. I thought his mutation chance would be a lot less, but we did get the fall mutation done and out of the way real quick with the grizzly bears, so that's perfect. We can go ahead and spawn in 2 more disco bees then to get disco done, and then we'll work on the chicken zombies after that and get ready for our AFK setup. So perfect. These guys actually went pretty quick for us today, which helps me out a lot. So we're gonna have some great mutations today, dude. This is gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a lot of them. All right, so our phoenix is applying the flaming mutation to a ton of our plants here. So we now have flaming on a bunch of stuff, including our golden egg. So that's interesting, but I'm going to go ahead and I guess I'll leave the golden egg since we got to get mutations off of it anyways. And I'm going to get some of these extra carrots out of the way that have other mutations on them as well. And we're good. All right. So thank you, Phoenix, for your service. And with that, we can go ahead and start spawning in some of our chicken zombies here to get the zombified mutation done and out of the way. And then we can add more once our other pets finish here. Our pterodactyl is next with our corrupt kitsune. So we should be able to get tempestuous and corrupt chakra. Maybe foxfire corrupt chakra. That'd be nice. Wow. Okay, well, we got corrupt chakra done, but we're still not getting tempestuous done. Usually our pterodactyl is done by now. It's actually taking a while today, but we can go and pick up our corrupt kitsune then. And we got corrupt chakra on a lot of stuff, actually. I think some of these sugar apples got it. Yep. So we're good there. We can go ahead and I guess go ahead and just pick up these carrots that had it then. All right, well, our corrupt kitsune is out of the way, so we're gonna just wait for the pterodactyl to finish then, since he's having a hard time. We're gonna go ahead and boost our peach wasp as well to get that plasma mutation done. That'll also give a boost to one of our other pets. And then we're gonna go ahead and actually boost our disco beast for hopefully a chance to get disco done and out of the way so we can get more chicken zombies in here. I will spawn in one more chicken zombie for now, and let's see if we get disco. Maybe disco, buddy, please. All right, failed. Expected. All right, so if we get disco done, we're gonna get plasma done now. He's flying to the heavens. Oh, he's so beautiful, dude, with this PNG animation. And we have plasma done on a sugar apple. Thank you so much, Peach Wasp, for your service. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another chicken zombie to replace him. Hopefully we can get zombified done, and hopefully we can get plasma done. Let's see if we get plasma done. Or not plasma, disco. We just got plasma done. Disco, buddy, come on, you got this. Okay, you don't got this. You're a failure. You're a failure in life, just like me. Just like me, buddy. I understand. All right, biscuit. See, failed. Okay, well, these guys just hurt me. They just hurt me. That's all they do. They just hurt me. All right, please give us tempestuous this time, buddy. All right, finally we got tempestuous added to a carrot. Which one did you help us on? Was it one of these ones? All right, perfect. We got tempestuous on the carrot that has toxic on it, so that works. We can go ahead and pick up our pterodactyl finally. We're gonna replace him with an extra chicken zombie, and then we're gonna work to try and get disco done, and then we'll focus on zombified so we can get ready for our AFK setup. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and boost some of my chicken zombies because they're almost done here, like Shano and UC. So let's see if we can get zombified done on something. Failed. All right, where's UC? I need you to be UC full.
What?
I'm so funny. I have no friends. I'm sorry. All right, they both failed, so he's not UC full. He's UC-less. And I'm gonna go ahead and boost my disco bees again, and well, maybe, just maybe this time they'll like me enough. Where's my last one? Here he is. All right, come on, disco. Bro, failed again, bro. Why do these disco bees hate me? Is it because of my dad jokes? Wait, where's Katie? I can boost Katie and maybe get zombified. Please zombified, please. Failed, bro. Why everyone's failing me? All right, well, maybe my disco bees here will have a chance. We got 3 of them. Let's just wait a minute here and see if any of them give us disco. If they give us disco, that'd be wonderful because all my chicken zombies just failed and all my disco bees are failing. So please, someone, please. Biscuit or GG, one of you guys, come on. All right, failed. All right, it's up to GG and Biscuit. If they fail again, bro, I'm actually gonna be so sad. Come on, guys, you could do this. You could do this. You could do this. Disco mutation. Failed. Come on, please. Let's go. We finally got disco. All right, disco is applied to a carrot, bro. I was losing hope there. I was gonna cry and then cry myself to sleep, but we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and gift myself some more toys here so we can boost our chicken zombies and hopefully get them done and out of the way. I'm just glad, though, that we finally got disco done. At least something. That's all we needed, was at least something, man. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another chicken zombie here and a mimic octopus just to help in case. And I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my Spriggan because this guy might be able to give us the blue mutation. He has a better chance than some of the other guys I have. And if we get bloom done, then we have more opportunity to use some of our other pets when we go AFK. All right, so a lot of my chicken zombies here are almost done with their cooldowns. I'm gonna go ahead and boost them and see if we can get the mutation done finally, the zombified mutations. Let's go ahead and boost them one at a time and see what we get. So where's Shano here? Hello? There you are. All right, let's see if we get zombified, please. Failed. All right, let's go down to UC. UC, come on. Clutch up for us, please. Failed. Okay. Okay. That's fine. I don't care. All right, Katie, come on, please. Katie, come on, Katie.
Nope.
Failed again, bro. All right, what about Bella and Mimi? Come on. All right, that one's almost done. Where's Bella? Bella, come here. Come on. One of you guys apply the zombified mutation, please. I'm gonna go ahead and use my mimic octopus as well here to maybe try and get it done. Let's see. Or one of my mutations done. Let's do it in mimics.
Bruh.
Okay, it failed again, bro. All right, I'm gonna boost my gnome. Can we at least get like gnome done, maybe? All right, we got gnome done on a carrot. That actually works out perfect for us because that will save us some time later when we do our AFK setup. So that works. We got gnomed on this carrot. I'm gonna go ahead and travel this over here. All right, gnome, thank you. We're gonna go ahead and boost the Spriggan as well here. Let's see if we can get bloom done. Come on, buddy. Here's a bunch of carrots for you, dude. Hey, don't go too far. Okay, our other chicken zombie failed. Spriggan, don't go too far. Apply bloom to something here, please. Okay, we got bloom on 10 of these things, dude. That was actually really easy. Okay. But all right, we're gonna go ahead and move the bloomed carrot over here. And now bloom is done and out of the way. So you did good. You and the gnome did good. We got 2 of our AFK mutations done, but we're still working on these chicken zombies. So I guess we'll go ahead and bring in the kappas next, since we usually get bloodlet pretty quickly from these guys with the carrots spread out like this. So we'll do that. And then hopefully we can get zombified done. All right, so I just had my kappa go a little crazy and apply wet to a bunch of these carrots, but apparently one of them just got bloodlet, which is this one, which also has bloom on it, which is perfect for us, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and travel this over here, and we can actually go ahead and get rid of this carrot with bloom, since this one has bloodlet and bloom to save some time. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick up, well, I guess I'll move one of these frozen ones over here just in case, and that should be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the rest of these carrots with these extra mutations on them, and we can go ahead and also pick up our kappa since they're good to go and they are done. And we still just gotta wait for these chicken zombies. And then I guess I'll go ahead and place a couple more carrots just to help with the zombies so they have a little bit more reach. And we have 2 more pet slots we can go ahead and use. I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in the new space squirrel to see if we can get the space squirrel's mutation done and out of the way. And I'll also go ahead and spawn in the griffin, since it does help with cooldowns. So if the zombies still take forever, we can get some cooldowns done while we wait. Now, the space squirrel only has a 15% chance for the void touch mutation, but I will boost it. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. And then the griffin, of course, has a 10% chance. So these aren't the best pets, but these are our AFK pets, and we're just kind of getting them done earlier, trying to save some more time in the long run. So we'll see what happens with these guys, but yeah, hopefully we can get the zombified mutation out of the way. All right, so we are still struggling to get the zombified mutation, but as soon as we get it, we can literally go AFK and wait for the rest of the mutations to get applied to what we need. So hopefully Mimi or Bella here comes in clutch and gives us the zombified mutation once and for all. Otherwise, hopefully we can maybe get the void touch mutation or cyclonic out of the way, and then our AFK grind will really be easy when we go AFK. We do have a nighttime event that just spawned in here, so this will make it easy to, there we go, get the moonlit mutation done. And then we'll also keep an eye out for the celestial event to maybe get celestial mutation. Look at that. We finally got the zombified mutation applied to a sugar apple. It did take some time, but we're finally there. And now we're ready to go on our AFK grind. So there we go. So we're finally done with our chicken zombies. We can go ahead and pick these guys up and prepare for our AFK grind now. We are good to go with that. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a lobster so we can work on getting molten or meteoric while we're gone in AFK. We'll get the corrupt scarlet out for the corrupt mutation, the tranquil scarlet out for the tranquil mutation, and we'll get the junk bot out for the oil mutation. And then we also have one more slot here. I know we're missing a pet. Oh, the spaghetti sloth. Sorry. Big sneeze there. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my spaghetti sloth so we can get the aromatic mutation from Miss Shard. We can go ahead and get sauce, pasta, and meatball. And when we get all those 3 done, we'll get the spaghetti mutation. And now we should be good for our AFK grind. We do have a mimic octopus. I think we could probably swap him out for something else. Let me see. I can probably swap him for a queen bee for now to save some time on cooldowns. And then before we go AFK, I'm gonna go ahead and give a toy to my space squirrel and my griffin so we can see if we get cyclonic or void touch done, because that would help us a lot as well. All right, it looks like we did not get cyclonic, but that's fine. Let's just real quick see if we can get void touch done. And if we don't, that's fine. We're just gonna AFK, and then we'll come back and get our spinos in here to move stuff over when we're back. All right. Void touch failed, kind of figured, because it's a really low chance, but we'll go AFK and let these pets do their thing, and then we'll throw in some spinos as they finish their mutations, and then we'll probably have to go ahead and also throw in our ascended mooncat as they finish mutations so we can get dawnbound done again. All right, so checking after a quick AFK break here to see what progress we have gotten. It looks like we did get a molten carrot here, so I'm gonna go ahead and move that into our spino platter over here. And it also looks like we actually got a few aromatic carrots. There's one here, and then I believe there's one right here. Yep, and this one one also has molten on it, which is interesting. So I think I'm going to take this aromatic and molten one and put it there, and then get rid of this chilled and molten one just so there's less to worry about for our Spinos. But we did get cyclonic done, so I'm going to go ahead and move that over, and that is out of the way. So we can go ahead and pick up our griffin, which is nice. We did get a sauce one, so I can go ahead and move this to the platter over here. We did get a pasta one, which is nice. Oh, and it looks like we just got meteoric done on a sugar apple, so we're actually good with our lobster as well. Perfect timing. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the lobster then. So our sloth is actually done. We got aromatic, sauce, pasta, and meatball. I'm gonna go ahead and move this over here so we can go ahead and pick up our spaghetti sloth. He is done, which is perfect. Let's see. So our junk bot, I saw an oil carrot over here somewhere, right here. So our junk bot is also done. Oil is done. We can go ahead and pick up our junk bot. Okay, corrupt just failed. I guess with that, we can try and boost our tranquil. I don't know if we have tranquil. I haven't seen it yet. So let me go ahead and grab a toy. Let's boost our tranquil scarlet. Just see if that helps at all. Okay, failed. All right, well, that's fine. So yeah, it looks like we still need to get Tranquil. We still need to get Corrupt, but all of our other pets are done, which is fantastic. And since we got pretty much all of our other pets done, we have 4 slots here. This is a good time to spawn in our Mega Spinosauruses and our regular Spinosauruses to start moving over all of the mutations to our Maple Resin, and then we should be good to go. And I guess we can also go ahead and spawn in our Ascended Mooncat to try and get Dawnbound done once we have Tranquil or Corrupt done. Or actually, you know, because these guys take a while and their cooldowns are bugged anyways, I guess I might as well remove the Queen Bee and then spawn in this guy so we can start getting Dawnbound done. Now, I know people might be like, oh, you can use the Queen Bee to get the Dawnbound mutation from your mutated Mooncat. Well, actually, you can't. I've already tested it, and the Queen Bee does not cool down the Dawnbound mutation, which is unfortunate, but this will at least add it in, and then we can try and get it within 6 hours, which will be like almost midnight, but, you know, we'll go for it, I guess. Oh, actually, before I go AFK, our space squirrel just added Void Touch to our Maple Resin. Oh, and it looks like we actually do have a Tranquil in here. I didn't even realize this. It's right here. Okay, well, we're actually done then with Tranquil, and we're done with our Space Squirrel because we just got Void Touch. It's in these Maple Resins that are kind of like hidden in here, so I can't really see them. All right, so our main one doesn't have it, but it's favorited, so our Spinos will move it. But yeah, we have a Tranquil one there, and we also have a Void Touch one now somewhere in there. So we're good. Those are actually done. Those are 2 more mutations done and out of the way. So I guess with that then, we will go ahead and spawn back in a Mimic Octopus to help with the Spinos, and we will also spawn in a Queen Bee again to help with getting those cooldowns done. And that should be good. Now we're actually perfectly ready for our AFK grind. So let's do this. We just got to get Corrupt and Dawnbound while we AFK. All right, so it's been like 5 or 6 hours since I went AFK, and here is our Maple Resin after we had all of the mutations moved over and applied to it now. And so if we actually take a look here, we have a total of 37 mutations. Now they did change the way that the Storm Charge mutation works. It used to be Maelstrom mixed with Static and Shocked, but now it's only Static and Shocked mixed with Tempestuous, I believe. And since we have Tempestuous under that, we can't get Tempestuous again on this Windstruck to actually give us the Maelstrom mutation and have both of them anymore. Used to be able to get both. I don't know why they changed it. Maybe there's a different combo to do that. And then also we did not get Ceramic. We were unable to because we got Infernal done first, but that is fine. We did get Dawnbound added on here though, and everything else that we needed. So again, 37 mutations, and if we split the Spaghetti mutation, that is 39 mutations. If we split the Abyssal mutation, which we finally got this one, that bring us to 40 mutations. Harmonized Chakra 41, Gloom 42, Paradisal 43, Storm Charged would be 45. And we didn't get Maelstrom, but if we had Maelstrom, it'd be 46 technically, but we're at 45. So with Infernal, we're about at 48 mutations. So almost 50 mutations. This thing is going to be worth a lot of money, I believe. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and check the value of it one time with the magnifying glass, and then we'll see if we can get Amber on it, and then check the value of it again. So let's go ahead and use our magnifying glass in 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right, so here's our Maple Resin. We're at 2.9 trillion for this thing. Now, honestly, we could have had some other plants in the past more expensive than this. I think the last video had like a 1 trillion something plant. A couple videos ago, we had a 1 trillion, but a while back, we had one that was 1 trillion. It said it was maxed at 1 trillion. However, Steven won't give you the full value once it's 1 trillion, is what you guys told me in the comments. So I don't know if that one fruit a couple weeks back was more than 1 trillion and maybe closer to this value, but this is 2.9 trillion, which is a lot of money for this Maple Resin. Now, we're going to try and add one more mutation onto it to see if we can maybe get it into that 3 trillion mark. So what we're going to go ahead and do is spawn in some raptors here, and we're going to test our luck with picking it up to see if we get amber added onto it. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. All right, so we did not get amber added onto this thing, but our maple resin here is in the 2.9 trillion mark, and it is a lot of money. And as you can actually see over here, my little pile of carrots, I did get a bunch of carrots with Dawnbound, and I have them favorited, but we can go ahead and use these for our Spinos later to move Dawnbound and Moonlit, and also Glimmering over to our potato, so we can get that extra multiplier bonus from that, which would be pretty nice. So without further ado though, let's go ahead and get started with this. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and plant the potato down right here. All right, we actually need an apple gazelle first, because what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna plant down 6 sugar apple trees, and with that I'm gonna go ahead and use my main account to hit grow all, so we can grow our potato plant and then also grow our sugar apples. All right, and then real quick, we're gonna go ahead and carefully pick up these sugar apples to see if we can get the, I think I just accidentally picked up one of my carrots over there, but anyways, we're gonna do this to try and get the warp mutation done with our apple gazelle. Wow, usually we have it by now, dude. What's going on? What's going on, apple gazelle? What are you doing, buddy? Okay, well, let me try that again, and maybe to make this a little bit better, I'm gonna boost the gazelle. There we go. Oh, okay, there we go. We got warped on a sugar apple. Hopefully I didn't just pick it up. Okay, no, it's right here. We're good. All right, so I'm going to travel this over here, and I'm also going to travel one of these carrots over here that has Glimmering, Moonlit, and Dawnbound, and we're going to start with our little platter buffet for our Spinos for later. All right, and then with that, we can actually pick up these potatoes, because these are not going to be our potatoes that we want. Let's pick up that apple gazelle, and then let's go ahead and reclaim all the sugar apples just to make it a little bit easier, because I would keep them, but with the event currently going on, there's so many Glimmering mutations, and it just takes forever for the Spinos to move mutations over. But anyways, now we can go ahead and spawn in our moon cats here. All right, that's 7. I'm gonna also spawn in a triceratops to help with growing these potatoes. We're gonna get a sprinkler in here. We're gonna go ahead and put down our grandmaster sprinkler right there. Let's go ahead and put down our master sprinkler. Where's godly? There it is. Advanced, of course, and then we're going to do basic, and there we go. Now our potatoes should hopefully grow in big and strong and mighty. So we're gonna wait for this to grow. Our triceratops should hit that. I'm also gonna sell all these dance party going on my main account's plot. I'm gonna go ahead and sell all these sugar apples to get them out of the way, clear some inventory space, and there we go. We got some moon cats sleeping, so let's go ahead and throw this in the pile. Actually, maybe over here. There's a lot of moon cats pretty close together, actually. I don't know, maybe right here would be a good spot. It's kind of a good spot everywhere right now. There's a lot of moon cats sleeping. Maybe I'll keep it right here. There's about almost like 3 stacked on that with the sprinklers. That should be good. Hopefully that'll give us a really big and nice potato. All right, this big guy here is actually growing pretty big. So that's not even the potato. I think that's just the stem. So we'll have to see what grows on this side. But let's do that once our triceratops smacks it. All right, you're gonna hit it. Okay, that was a 33-minute advancement, but like literally nothing happened. That's pretty crazy. And the other one's not even growing in yet. Oh wait, here it is. It's right here. I guess I'll hit grow all and see what we get, because I think we might have some pretty big potatoes. Let's see. Okay, not too shabby. This is actually a pretty good size here. I don't really know how big the potatoes can get, but this one does look pretty good. So I think we'll keep this one. Maybe we'll try to get one more and just see what kind of size we can get for the one over here. So I feel like we can do a little bit better than that. Let's try it one more time. We'll keep this one though and just give it a look, give it a test here. Let's just see if we can get a bigger one than that. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, okay, this one's actually a lot bigger than that one. I'm glad we waited a little bit longer. Okay, well, now we have our actual potato that we're going to use. Look at that thing, dude. It's sticking out of my plot. That's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all of these pets here. Let's go ahead and get started with getting this thing rainbow. So I'm gonna spawn in a butterfly. We're gonna spawn in a queen bee, and then the queen bee will cool down the butterfly, and it'll convert the 5 mutations we're about to put on the potato into rainbow. And we're also gonna spawn in our golden goose to get the fortune egg out of the way, so we can get that egg laid. We can place it over here on our little entree platter for the Spinos, and then we can get the fortune mutation moved over shortly. But with that, let's go ahead and get this potato ready for golden conversion here. So I'm gonna put pollinated on it, windstruck. We'll use a wet, we'll do chocolate, and then we will use a honey sprinkler here to turn this to honey glazed. So silver doesn't count towards rainbows, but we do have our other 5 mutations: chocolate, windstruck, wet, honey glazed, and pollinated. These will convert to rainbow with our butterfly, and then we can get the show on the road and get some good mutations on this. And with that, my main account should have the kit soon. Actually come over here in the next minute, so we're gonna wait for that real quick. And actually, I kind of hope it takes a carrot because we don't want it to steal the potato just yet. We need to save that chakra mutation. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do, just in case, so we don't have it steal our potato and add chakra to this one, is I'm gonna move it over here for a second, face it way out of the plot there, so that way the Kitsune will hopefully only target one of my carrots here. All right, so my main account's Kitsune is headed over, and he is directly aiming towards what looks to be a carrot, but the potato is also over here, so let's see. Okay, he applied it to a carrot. Perfect. Thank you. I guess this one does have luminous on it. I don't remember putting luminous on this, but I guess maybe it got multiplied from one of my T-Rexes when I was trying to get Dawnbound multiplied. So we do have luminous on this, and we have chilled, chakra, Dawnbound, and glimmering. So I'm actually going to go ahead and travel this carrot over here, and this will be in favor of the Spino Platter instead of this one. Now, this one does have moonlit on it, though, so I guess we can use that for that. But I don't want to get rid of 2 Dawnbounds, but I guess it doesn't really matter because I'll use T-Rexes again to duplicate all the Dawnbounds and have more carrots later. So I guess we'll go ahead and unfavorite that then, and our Spinos can eat that. But yeah, we do have chakra now, and we have all these mutations, so that is good to go there. I'm gonna go ahead and AFK now, and we'll be back once our potato turns rainbow, and we'll get some mutations started on it. Oh, actually, before we AFK for a couple minutes to get this rainbow, I'm actually gonna do one more thing. I'm actually gonna favorite this potato for a second, and I'm gonna spawn in an advanced sprinkler, and then I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my mandrakes. I have 4 of them here, and we are going to just plant some mandrake seeds down and use some watering cans to get rot mutation done. Hopefully pretty quick. I think these guys are all boosted still. No, they're not. Let me get some toys real quick just to make this go a little bit faster and hopefully save a couple mandrake seeds. All right, let's see if we get rot done. All right, there we go. We have rot applied to a potato. Is it actually this potato, though? No, it's not. All right, that's actually a good thing. We don't want it on this potato because all of this is about to convert over to... Sorry, brain fart, bro. This is about to convert over to rainbow, so I'm glad we actually did not get rot on this potato itself. We have it on one of these potatoes in the mix, so that's a good thing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up the rest of these then, and we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and unfavorite that, and let's wait now for that to convert to rainbow, but we have the rot mutation out of the way. We're good to go. I'm gonna pick up these mandrakes while we're here, and now we're just gonna wait for this goose, which I'm gonna boost him so we can get that egg done, pick him up, and then our queen bee can just focus on our butterfly. All right, so our golden goose is going to lay its egg now, so we can get the fortune egg, and then that will be transferred over to our potato later with a Spino. But there we go. We got our egg. So fortune egg has been laid. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this golden goose now. That is good. We're going to go ahead and travel this thing over to our little platter for our Spinos, of course. And I think next, for right now, I'm going to go ahead and get our Raiju started. That way we can get the static mutation ready. And by the time the Raiju is finished with its ability, then when we start doing all the other mutations, we won't risk that carrot that we're about to put down right here getting any other mutations on it, because we're actually going to put shocked on this carrot. There we go. I added it from my main account, and that way the Raiju will eat this carrot and apply static to our potatoes, probably our sugar apples, maybe our carrots, and we'll have the static mutation done. And that way other pets don't apply stuff to this carrot, so we don't have to wait to get it again if they accidentally do. All right, so now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and boost my queen bee to get that butterfly's cooldown done. I'm going to also boost that Raiju to save a little bit. Actually, the Raiju is boosted, so we'll boost him again a little bit to save some time on that, and we should be good. And then yeah, all these carrots I have over here are still favorited, so when we do get our Spinos in, they will not eat any of these. And we also do have a sandy carrot here, so maybe to save some time with the jackalopes, I will maybe move that over. Actually, it doesn't really matter too much if we use some of these, because I will just use a T-Rex later to duplicate the Dawnbound mutation more for us. So I guess with that, I will just go ahead and move this sandy carrot over here. I guess what we can do, this one has sandy, moonlit, and Dawnbound. I can move this one over here, so I'll refavorite that one, and then I'll unfavorite this one. That way we can get moonlit from this one and sandy, and then that way we can get luminous and chakra, and both of them will give us Dawnbound, so that's good. All right, I'm sure I gave some of you a heart attack because I did not favorite these carrots here for a second, and these ones have 5 mutations, so the butterfly could easily convert these to rainbow, but I did go ahead and favorite them, so now it can only target this potato since everything else is favorited that has multiple mutations. But yeah, I guess I gave myself a heart attack too for a second because I almost didn't realize that. But there we go. Queen bee cooled down the butterfly. Butterfly converted our potato to rainbow, and we are now good. We can go ahead and pick up the butterfly. We can pick up our queen bee. We can go ahead and boost this Raiju to get static done, and then let's go ahead and unfavorite these now that these are good to go, and we have our rainbow potato. So with that, we can go ahead and reapply our sprays. So I'm going to go ahead, and I don't really need to use my glimmering spray yet. I'm going to save that for once the event ends because we have glimmering all over the place, excuse me. So I'm going to put pollinated onto this. We're going to save windstruck because we have tempestuous we're going to add, pollinated, we'll put chocolate, and then we are going to put a honey honey sprinkler back down to get honey glaze back. So my main account here, I'm going to add the cloud touch spray. So wet's added. We'll add shock back onto it. And then we'll put verdant onto it. All of our mutations are on here now. And then we're going to get everything else moved over. So we have rainbow shocked, chocolate verdant, wet, honey glazed, cloud touch, and pollinated so far, which brings us to 8 mutations on the potato, and we're going to get a lot more in just a little bit. Anyways, our Raiju is going to be the first pet for our guaranteed mutations to eat this and apply static, so we're going to let him do that in a second here. So I'm going to spawn in a lemon lion for the brain rot mutation. I'm going to spawn in a peach wasp for the plasma mutation. We'll spawn in our pterodactyl for, okay, well that didn't come up with pterodactyl, but we'll spawn in our corrupt kitsune as well for corrupt chakra. We'll spawn in our pterodactyl here for our tempestuous mutation, and we'll spawn in our cockatrice as well for that toxic mutation. And I would spawn in the jackalopes as well, but we did already get Sandy, so we don't need the jackalopes today. I think with those last 2 slots, we'll go ahead and get started with our disco bee so we can get the disco mutation done. And real quick, let me just take a look to make sure I'm not missing anything, because there's so many different pets. I tend to forget now if I'm missing anything. So let me just make sure I have all the guaranteed mutation pets out on the battlefield right now to give us those mutations. Oh, I almost forgot the Phoenix, dude. See, there's so many now. I forget. All right, so I'll pick up a disco bee for now and put the Phoenix down because we got to get that flaming mutation from our Phoenix. And I believe that is all of the guaranteed mutation pets out now. And then after these guys, yeah, we'll focus on disco bees, chicken zombies, and then our AFK set of pets. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do here, so we're going to let our pets do their things and finish their cooldowns, with our Raiju actually being the first one here who's going to eat this carrot here that is shocked and going to apply that static mutation. All right, eat that. Give me that static mutation. All right, we got some static on carrots. We got static on a sugar apple. Some more carrots. All right, so we're good. Where did static go on the sugar apple? I'm not seeing that one. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in that disco bee back then, and we'll focus on disco and zombified once we get all these guaranteed mutations. Hopefully these disco bees will come in clutch though, so we can just focus on zombified. All right, the lemon lion just applied the brain rot mutation to a carrot. I hardly just missed it. I wasn't paying attention for a second there. I was on my phone, bro. Can't be texting and mutating, I guess. But here we go. Carrot, this carrot specifically has the brain rot mutation, so we will go ahead and move this one over. Again, I'm not too worried about the dawnbound mutation being on all these. I got extra carrots for that reason, so we can easily duplicate more dawnbound carrots for the next videos. But yeah, there we go. So this carrot has brain rot on it. We'll unfavorite that and add that to our collection. So thank you, Mr. Lemon Lion, for your service. I'm gonna go ahead and pick you up now, buddy. I'm gonna spawn in another disco bee so we can hopefully get disco done and then focus just on zombified after these guys are done. So let's see what happens there. I'm also gonna go ahead and boost this pterodactyl so we can get tempestuous done. So let's go ahead and wait just a second here. Let's get that flaming mutation done and out of the way. All right, let's see. Oh, he's flying. He's flying. He's going. He's going. All right, we got it on 4 fruits. Did we actually get it on the potato directly? No, we didn't get it on this. Did we get it on... Okay, we got some on these carrots. That's all we need to know. All right, cool. So flaming is done, and it's on some of these carrots over here. So that is perfect. That works for us. We can go ahead and pick up our Phoenix now. And who's next? Cockatrice is next, and Pterodactyl's next. So let's go ahead and wait for them. Cockatrice will give us Toxic. Pterodactyl should hopefully give us Tempestuous, and then we can swap those guys out as well. We do have 3 Disco Bees, so I'm going to go ahead and place another Disco Bee, and we're just going to get max Disco Bees to get that mutation done, and then we'll go for chicken zombies. All right, we got Toxic spread to some carrots and to potatoes, so our cockatrice is done. I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up. Let's see, did we get it on our main potato? No, we got it on this one over here. Okay, and our pterodactyl is next to give us tempestuous. Now, I guess the one thing I didn't think of is when the Spinos eat, they will not eat from the favorited fruits here, but they can eat from these unfavorited ones and spread it to these favorited fruits. So that might be a bit of a problem because we wanted to get on the tomato, we wanted to get it on the potato. So we'll have to think about that, and I might need to actually pick up these carrots and maybe just save 1 dawnbound carrot or AFK dawnbound before the next video again, because I didn't think that one over, did I? But anyways, our pterodactyl is done here. Tempestuous is done, and that is another 2 pet slots open. So our disco bees are almost done with their cooldowns, at least a couple of them. So I want to try to get disco done first, but the chicken zombies do take a while for their cooldown, so I might as well start getting some chicken zombies in here, and I'll go 4 and 4. Once we get Peach Wasp done and Crep Kitsune, I can spawn in 4 chicken zombies, and I'll have 4 disco bees. But hopefully we'll get lucky, and these disco bees will be quick and give us the disco mutation pretty quick. Zephy's almost done, so I'm gonna actually boost him, and there he is. So let's see if he will give us the disco mutation, because maybe if we could get him to do it first and he just gets it done and out of the way, then we can just focus on chicken zombies and our life will be easier. That doesn't always happen. We usually have a tough life. Our pets don't really like us. That's a problem. All right, Zephy, come on, buddy. All right, he failed. Just like I said, you know, I didn't think you'd like us, but it was worth a shot. All right, so let's see if our Corrupt Kitsune gives us Foxfire Corrupt Chakra, maybe? Maybe, that'd be nice, right? Right, buddy? Right? Okay, we only got Corrupt Chakra on 1 golden egg, so we're gonna go ahead and take him away for now, and then maybe we can try and AFK him later to get Foxfire Corrupt Chakra, but as long as we have the regular Corrupt Chakra, that works for now. Disco Beast going off, and we got Disco done and applied to one of our sugar apples, which is actually perfect for us. That means we are good with our Disco Bees as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this Corrupt Kitsune here. We're gonna pick up our Disco Bees, and now we're gonna go ahead and just spawn in some more chicken zombies and max these guys out so we can prepare to hopefully get the zombified mutation and get ready for our AFK grind here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chicken zombies. I thought we had more, but just to help out, I guess I can put in a mimic octopus as well and a queen bee just to make sure we get zombified done faster. And then our peach wasp here is about to be done with its cooldown in about 2 minutes to give us the plasma mutation. And once we have plasma done, then we should be good with all of our guaranteed pets. He's gonna sting one of our chicken zombies though for now, I believe. Yep. All right, but yeah, these guys still have a very long time for the cooldowns. We still have 13 minutes in total, so we'll have to wait a little bit. But the queen bee will help with that. Mimic octopus will help as well, and hopefully we get zombified done on one of these first tries, and then we can prepare for our AFK setup. All right, our peach wasp is going to apply plasma. Looks like it's going to a sugar apple. Yep, there we go. So plasma has been applied to a sugar apple. We're good with our peach wasp, and now we just have to wait for these chicken zombies to give us zombified, and then we can do our AFK setup. Now, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is spawn in a gnome, since we do have quite a few gnomes here. I can boost the gnome, and that will boost its basic ability, and since we have all these gnomes, I'll boost that % chance. So we should be able to get gnome pretty quick. That way, when we actually go AFK, I can spawn in a kappa, and we can fill up our 8 pet slots, but otherwise, we'll just let him be one of our AFK pets as we normally do, and then we'll swap him out with a Kappa later for Bloodlit. But besides that, yeah, once we get zombified, we should be good to go for our AFK setup, and then eventually we'll throw in some Spinos and get everything moved to our potato. So we just had our Mimic Octopus apply the zombified mutation to one of our sugar apples over here, right here, the same one with Disco on it. So zombified is done. However, I do have some bad news. I have some real bad news, actually. I did something bad. So I was trying to boost one of my pets, and I accidentally picked up the potato right here that had tempestuous and rot on it, dude. I need those. So I'm gonna go ahead and real quick spawn in my mandrakes again. I'm gonna favorite this potato. Oh, wait, that one's already favored. I'm gonna favorite this potato just so I don't pick anything up on that. We're gonna get brought back. This one's pretty easy, and then we're gonna I mean, tempestuous is pretty easy as well, but we do have to wait a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my pterodactyl again and get tempestuous back, and then we can actually do our AFK grind. But I am gonna have to wait about 8 minutes for this guy to give us tempestuous again. However, at least it wasn't like pets that take forever. It was only rot, it was only tempestuous, everything else we had on everything else, so we're good with that. All right, come on, give me that rot mutation back. I messed up big time. Just forgive me and give me it back, please. Oh, thank you. All right, we got raw on a sugar apple now, so that's done again. That was annoying. Now we just gotta wait for our pterodactyl to give us tempestuous again, and then we can really do our ultimate AFK setup. I guess right now while I'm here, I'm gonna boost this gnome real quick and maybe help us get that beautiful mutation, the gnome mutation, maybe. Okay, or I won't get it. That's fine. But anyways, yeah, so we're gonna wait for a pterodactyl. I guess I'll go ahead and get the AFK setup going, though. I will swap this guy out, though, once we get tempestuous back, but I'm gonna go ahead and put down my tranquil scarlet for the tranquil mutation, corrupt scarlet for the corrupt mutation. We'll put down our lobster for molten and meteoric, which we can get infernal and blazing from. I'm gonna go ahead and put down my spriggan for the blue mutation. We already have my gnome down for the gnomed mutation, and let's see what else, because we have a couple more that I know I'm missing. Let me see here. All right, I'm gonna get the griffin down for the cyclonic mutation, and I will get my spaghetti sloth down for the spaghetti mutation, which is the meatball, sauce, and pasta mutation mixed all together, and the aromatic mutation because I have that shard on him. And then I think we're missing one more pet. I know I am somewhere. I know we're gonna do kappas eventually, so I will put my kappas in my hotbar just to remind myself. But what other pet are we missing? Because I know that there's one that I always do with this combo. Let me just double check here real quick. Bro, my brain is broken right now. I know there's someone in here I'm missing. They'll come back to me, I'm sure. I'm looking right at it and I can't think of it. So I'll spawn it in a second, though, whenever I get tempestuous back, and I'll let you know what it is once I figure it out, because my brain hurts right now. So I don't know how this makes sense, but there's a heat wave while there's a frost snow event. This is completely ruining my immersion right now. This is not possible. Anyways, I remembered what pet I was missing. It's the junk bot. So this guy will go into my AFK collection. It's the second one pterodactyl is done. I do have some tanning mirrors. I just wanted to make sure I'm going to get sun dried. I think I should be good. They're in range. And I guess I do have a star crawler as well. well. I'll put one over here though, just in case, to hit some of that stuff. If we do, for some reason, get a celestial event, I don't know if we will, but that'd be very, very nice. All right, so hopefully my pterodactyl reapplies tempestuous first try, since I messed up and I'm dumb and stupid and idiot. All right, tempestuous, please. Back to something. Bro, why are you not giving me tempestuous? Why are you not giving me tempestuous? He's upset at me because I took it away earlier. I did not mean to, man. It was an honest mistake. All right, well, anyways, once we get tempestuous, we'll get Junkbot in there and AFK, but I'm very sad now. All right, so we have Twisted, or I guess Tempestuous, back on some sugar apples and some of our carrots here. So we should be good. Let me just double check, make sure it actually did get on one of these sugar apples. There it is. All right, cool. So we have Tempestuous on a sugar apple. I did place these carrots down just in case, but since they're good to go and we have it on a sugar apple, I'm gonna go ahead and pick these up and we are good. So we can finally swap out our pterodactyl, put down our Junkbot, and now we have our official AFK setup. Now, real quick, I'm gonna see if our gnome actually ends up giving us gnome, because if he does, we can go ahead and put down our Kappa and then we can really just AFK for a bit. But if not, we're gonna have to do some more waiting and come back in just a little bit. And I guess in the meantime, I can also boost my Spriggan. Excuse me. So I'll do that to see if we get Bloom done, and that should help a little bit as well. All right, gnome, come on, gnome. It failed. All right, well, it was worth a shot. Real quick, let's just see if we do get Bloom from our Spriggan. All right, Spriggan, don't let us down. Get us Bloom so we can swap you out for a Kappa. I don't want to get rid of you. I love you, but like, that'd be nice. Oh, you're going kind of far away. Hey, buddy. Buddy, come back over here, please. Get a little bit closer, please. All right, come on, Bloom. Yeah, I think he was out of range. All right, well, that breaks my heart. Thanks for nothing. Thanks for nothing, dude. You know what? I'm out of here. Bruh, chill. All right, our Scarlet Macaw applied Tranquil to our potato, and I think it was actually it was our actual potato that we needed it on. So, all right, we got our Scarlet done, our first one, our Tranquil one done. Let's see if we get Corrupt. I did boost him to try and get Corrupt, so hopefully we can get that done. Let's see it. All right, failed. Well, at least we got Tranquil done. That will be useful. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and actually place down some more carrots here. Let's do a couple here. And I guess we'll do a couple over here. And that should be good. I guess I'll do a couple in this corner as well. And then we're going to spawn in a Kappa to hopefully give us Bloodlet while we AFK. But I'm glad that Tranquil is done. All right, so while I was AFK, it looks like we had a lot of good stuff happen. So first off, as you can see, this other big potato that I have got Cyclonic on it. And it also got Bloom on it. So those are 2 more mutations done. And we could check off of our list. Oh, and he's going off again. All right, but we got those 2 done. We also got Corrupt done, which is another mutation out of the way from our from our Corrupt Scarlet Macaw. So I'm gonna go ahead and travel this one over to the platter over here. Perfect. We don't really need Frozen. I think, do we already have Frozen? We have it on this one. So yeah, we don't really need the Frozen carrots. I'll pick that up. We did get Meatball on this carrot, and I think we got it over there, but I will just move this over here just in case, because we got another Bloom on it anyways, so we'll do that. We got Pasta on this carrot. Then on this carrot over here, we got Oil, so we can get rid of our Junkbot a second. Oil is done, so we'll go ahead and travel this over here. We also got Molten, so Molten's done, but we still need Meteoric, but we'll go ahead and move the Molten carrot over here as well. All right, Aromatic did just fail, but this carrot over here, we have we have Sauce and Pasta on it. I don't know, I can't speak, but that's Sauce done as well. So that's pretty much all the spaghetti mutations done. We just need to make sure we have Aromatic somewhere, but let's see, none on that. All right, so let's see if we got Bloodlet anywhere over here. Yeah, so I'm not seeing Bloodlet. We might have not gotten that while we're AFK. Doesn't look like it, so we'll have to wait around for Bloodlet a little bit longer, but we did get quite a bit done here, so that was some good progress. We are good with the Junkbot. We are good with the Cyclonic, or the Griffin here that gives us Cyclonic. We're good with the Spriggan. We did get Bloom, and we are also good with the Corrupt Scarlet here. So we still need to get Gnomed. I'm gonna go ahead and boost him to see if we can get that done out of the way. Let's see. Let's test our luck, I guess. Failed. Okay. But yeah, we still need Gnomed. We still need Meteoric. We still need Aromatic from our Spaghetti Sloth. And then we still need to get Bloodlet. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another Kappa to help us get Bloodlet done with a couple of extra carrots. But okay, there we go. Now we have 2 Kappas to help us get Bloodlet. We'll hopefully get Aromatic. And then with those extra slots that we have left, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 2 of my Mega Spinosauruses here. And I'm going to spawn in another regular Spinosaurus. And that way we can start getting all of these mutations moved over to our favorited potato right here. All right. So our potato is ready with all of these mutations on it. It is looking pretty good. We have a total of 31 mutations, and then if we separate some of these like spaghetti, we would have 33 mutations. With ceramic, we'd be up to about I think about 35. Harmonized chakra would bring us to 36. Maelstrom would bring us to, I want to say, 38. Gloom 39. Paradisal 40. Storm charge would be about 44, and infernal would bring us to about 47, 48. So we do have a lot of mutations on this thing. I wish we could have got like Celestial and Aurora, that would have made this even more. But we do have Dawnbound on it, which is a really good multiplier to have. So I'm happy about that. And this thing just looks insane, of course, because there's so many mutations on it. We're going to try to add that 49th mutation on this with getting our raptor spawned in and trying to get amber. So let's see if we can get that done. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pick up our potato now. Or actually, you know what, instead of checking with Steven, everyone always asks me to do the magnifying glass, so I'm gonna check it with the magnifying glass first just to see what the value would be if it's over 1 trillion, and then we'll pick it up and see if we get amber. So let's go ahead and use a magnifying glass today first. So let's go ahead and click our potato here. Okay, so this thing is currently worth 1.5 trillion, which is actually an insane amount for this thing being a potato, which is the base value is around like 80k or something like that, or like 60k. So 1.5 trillion is very good. Let's see if we can actually get amber on it though. All right, we did not get amber on it, but we do have this potato with all these mutations worth 1.5 trillion, which is a very, very good amount of money. I think the Dawnbound mutation really helps getting that added on here today. One of the most highly requested seeds for me to get every single mutation on in Roblox Grow Garden is the grape, and I have just not gotten it to it yet, but today that changes and we are going to be getting every single mutation grown onto the grape. So I am going to go ahead and just place my grape right here, and then over here you can actually see we did AFK to get the Dawnbound mutation, and with that we did get Cosmic, Tempestuous, and Sandy, so we can actually skip out today on using the Pterodactyl and the Jackalopes. I'll save us just a little bit of time later, but there we go, our grape is growing in. And then with that, we already do have some sugar apples, but I am going to go ahead and plant just a couple more here to help us get the warp mutation done. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our apple gazelle, and we're also gonna just go ahead and get our mandrakes ready here as well, and then we're going to hit the grow all button on my main account, and there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and grab these sugar apples to get the warp mutation done. Our apple gazelle is still boosted, so we have some time here. And there we go. We got the warp mutation applied to a sugar apple. Which one is it on? Okay, it's back there. So warped is done. We can go ahead now and reclaim these 3 sugar apple trees. Just get these ones out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and plant down some mandrake seeds here. And I'm going to spawn in an advanced sprinkler right over these. And then we're just going to use our watering can to grow these quickly. And then we're going to try to get the rot mutation done real quick here. Oh, and there we go. We got it twice. 3 times. We don't need it that many times, but yeah, we had some pretty good luck there. So we have it on 2 sugar apples over there, so we're pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all these guys, and now it's time to get our grape to grow in massive. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is spawn in our mooncats here. Let's get 7 mooncats, and okay, that's 8. Let's go ahead and get a triceratops in, so it can help with speeding up the growth a little bit, and then we're going to get our sprinklers down, so let's do that. So let's get our Grandmaster sprinkler down, Master, Godly, Advanced, and our basic sprinkler, and then we're also going to spawn in our berry blusher sprinkler, as that helps with grapes and similar berry plants. So with all these sprinklers down and our mooncats, we should be able to get a pretty big grape to grow in, and then we'll get started with getting all the mutations on that grape. Let's go ahead and let our mooncats do their thing, and hopefully we can get a big huge grape to grow in. I don't know how long. I think the grapes do take a little bit longer than other fruits to grow in, especially if we get a big one. It'll probably take a couple of minutes here. So we have a couple, not any really piled up together. I am going to go ahead and throw this one in this mix of 2, so that'll at least give us a small boost for our grape initially, and then we'll just keep doing this as the mooncats keep sleeping and until we get our triceratops to smack our grape and get it to grow in. So we're just going to do this for a second until we get a big grape. Hopefully we get a pretty big one. I don't really know the biggest grape you can get, but hopefully we get a decent size. And I'm going to actually clear my inventory while we wait and get some more carrots so we have some more for mutations. All right, I feel like we're going to get a pretty big grape. Like, there's no way we don't get a huge grape on this thing. We just got to wait for it to at least show the initial growth before we hit grow all. But I'm hoping our triceratops just hovers it and only will hit this and out of sugar apples, so we can get these to spawn in and be nice and tender and juicy and stuff like that, I guess. All right, let's see how much our triceratops boosts this. Oh, he doesn't want grapes. He wants apples. Okay, that doesn't really help us. Thank you so much for the... Yeah, good job, buddy. You're doing great over there, man. All right, well, since he decided not to hit our grapes, I am going to wait just a little bit and wait for us to get a little bit of a growth, and then I'm going to hit grow all, and hopefully we get a big grape. So I'll be back in just a minute just to save some time here. All right, so I know this looks pathetic, right? But I think this is like the beanstalk where it visually doesn't get that big, because I have stacked sprinklers on this for minutes on end. I have spawned mooncats. I even got my echo frog for my main account, and I just cannot get one that looks big. However, if you look at my inventory here, I do have a couple that I picked up. And for example, if we actually show this one that is 14 kilograms here, and then we compare it to this one that is 23. I mean, this one's a little bit taller, but this one's like a little bit wider. So like, it's really hard to tell like what the sizes are, but like this one's 13 and then this one's 12 and this one's like way bigger. So yeah, I think the sizing for the grapes is just really hard to tell. Oh, and then also we have this gold one at 37, which is even smaller than that one that was at 13. So yeah, I think these just visually don't get that big. So I assume this is actually probably one of our biggest ones weight wise. And I think this one will be a good one to go with. It doesn't look good, but it's going to be amazing. Okay, I promise. Since we got that done, let's go ahead and finally get started with these mutations here. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the chocolate mutation. Windstruck. We'll throw a pollinated spray on there. And then that is 4 mutations, or that's only 3. I can't count. All right, well, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and go to my main account here. We're going to apply some sprays from over here. So on this account, we'll go ahead and apply a cloud touch spray, and then we will also apply glimmering spray, I guess, just since we can buy those and those are easy to get. All right, and with that, now we have 5 mutations that can be converted to rainbows. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our queen bee, and we're gonna spawn in our butterfly here. Queen bee will cool down the butterfly because it has an insanely long cooldown, and then this guy will convert to a rainbow grape, and then we can get started with actually getting mutations. However, we're gonna also go ahead and spawn in our golden goose today to get this guy started to lay us a fortune egg, which will save us some time. And then we're also gonna go ahead and start spawning in some carrot seeds, and we're gonna spawn in some of our pets that are guaranteed mutations since they go pretty quick. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our lemon lion to get our lemon lion out of the way, since this guy will give us brain rot in about 5 minutes. We're gonna spawn in our swan to give us graceful in about 5 minutes. We can do the same for our cockatrice here, and we'll also go ahead and get our badger out of the way today, or like right now, so we get the crack mutation done in about 2 minutes or under 2 minutes. And I guess we get one more guaranteed pet mutation done. So let's see what else we got in here. We don't need our jackalopes or our pterodactyls today because we do have Sandy and Tempestuous over here in these carrots. We'll save time, not worry about those guys today. But what else can we use? I guess the Phoenix we can go ahead and get started as well. So the Phoenix is also a pretty short cooldown, about 7 minutes. So that way we can get most of these guaranteed mutations done and out of the way. And then we'll get Rainbow applied to our grape and be good to go. All right, our badger is applying the cracked mutation to a ton of sugar apples and carrots, so we are good with our badger. I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up to get him out of the way. So we can pick up these cracked carrots because we actually have a ton of them over there on our sugar apples, so we don't need all of these. We also did get chakra applied from our main account, by the way, when I was waiting to get this grape grown. So that is over there and applied already, which is good. All right, so our badger's out of the way. We can actually probably, actually our swan's already boosted and our lemon lion can't really be boosted. So yeah, we're gonna get brain rot and a graceful done now. I guess we'll boost our Phoenix to get this done a little bit faster, and then we can boost our cockatrice to get that done a little bit faster as well. Since we have that extra pet slot, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with our grizzly bears so we can try to get the fall mutation done. I'm gonna also boost the grizzly bear since he doesn't have the best mutation chance. All right, so I'm gonna reboost the swan so we get graceful done, and then our lemon lion is going to give us brain rot. There we go. We got graceful applied to a carrot, and we got brain rot applied to a carrot. So we can move these over to our platter for the spinos, and we go ahead and pick up the lemon lion, pick up the swan. That's another 2 free slots we have now. Next will be the Phoenix and the cockatrice, so we'll get those guys done. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another grizzly bear for us, and we'll also spawn in our first kappa here to work on getting bloodlet done. So yeah, we have 2 grizzly bears, so we can hopefully get the fall mutation done. Kappa to get bloodlet, that shouldn't take too long, just a couple cycles through that. All right, so next up we have our cockatrice, who's going to give us toxic in about 1.5 minutes, and our Phoenix is going to give us flaming in about 40 seconds here, and then hopefully we can also get fall done, and then we'll have a couple mutations out of the way, and our golden goose will be laying an egg soon. And then with that, I'm going to boost our queen bee in just a minute here so we can get the butterfly to convert that to rainbow. We do have our fruits over here favorited with more than 5 mutations. I'm going to go ahead and just double check because I think there might be some new ones from getting these mutations that might have 5. Just, I don't want the butterfly to target anything besides the grape, but okay, looks like we're fine. All right, we're good. All right, there we go. We have flaming added onto that carrot and a couple of the sugar apples. I'm going to actually pick up the sugar apples with flaming on them because we don't need so many. I'm going to pick up these carrots as well. And there we go. We do have flaming added, though, over here to this carrot. So that mutation is done thanks to our Phoenix. And our grizzly bears are trying to apply fall, but they're going to probably fail a couple times, so we'll have to wait a while. But Phoenix is done, and since we got that done, I'm going to go ahead and actually spawn in another kappa so we can get bloodlet done a little bit faster. Should be able to apply it to one of these carrots. I'm also going to spawn some carrots over here, so in case they do walk over here and apply wet, they'll get bloodlet to at least something. Bloodlet should be pretty much guaranteed now, and hopefully we get fall done. But there we go. Our cockatrice is shooting out its toxic to carrots and stuff. There we go. Toxic is done. I'm going to move this toxic carrot over here into the mix. All right, so I can go ahead and pick up the cockatrice. Hopefully we can get fall done with this grizzly bear maybe. Oh, I got to reboost him. Fall mutation, please. Please. Failed. Okay, that's gonna probably take a while. That's fine. I'm gonna also boost our kappas here just to get them done. But that means when these guys are done and we do have rainbow, we can spawn these 3 in, and then we can also start spawning in our chicken zombies and our disco bees to get those mutations completed. All right, so I'm gonna wait a minute here to get our fortune egg, and then we'll, I guess, just wait around to get fall, since I'll probably take a while, and wait around to get bloodlet as well. And I think our queen bee now can be boosted without it being above 5 minutes. Should be good. Yep, there we go. So we have about 4 minutes left, and we'll get rainbow done as well. So that's good. Let's just wait for that fortune egg real quick. All right, fortune egg is being laid. Oh, he's gonna do it right here. Perfect. I don't even have to move it. Thank you for the fortune egg. Perfect placement. Go ahead and pick up our golden goose now. We're gonna get fall done. No, okay, that's gonna probably take a while, so I'm just not even gonna worry about that. And all right, so I'll be right back for a couple more minutes. Let's wait to get rainbow, and then we'll get some more of our pets done. Oh, perfect. Our grizzly bear actually just applied the fall mutation to a sugar apple over here. I barely just missed it, but it's on one of these sugar apples somewhere. And then we got wet started, so we should be able to get bloodlet next. Oh, here it is, back here. All right, so fall mutation is done. Just want to make sure, so we go ahead and pick up these grizzly bears and get them out of the way. And then this next kappa should give us bloodlet pretty easy. And then we have about a minute and a half left to get rainbow. Also, I almost forgot, we did not spawn in our Raiju yet. We need to get the Raiju going so we can get the shocked mutation applied to some carrots or just anything. So Raiju is spawned in. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the shocked spray to one of my carrots so we can get static done. And there we go. So he'll eat this shocked carrot in just a second and apply the static mutation to some of our plants, and that will be another mutation done. But yeah, I almost forgot about our Raiju. That would have been sad, dude. He needs to have his moment. Just have his moment to shine. So our queen bee is now going to cool down our butterfly. Butterfly's cooled down. Butterfly is going to go for our grape since all these are favorited, and our grape is now going to become a rainbow grape. Perfect. And there we go. We have a rainbow grape ready. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up our queen bee. Our butterfly and our kappas just gave us bloodlet. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the kappas. We're going to move this bloodlet carrot over here. We can go ahead and unfavorite these fruits so we can get ready for our spinos shortly to move all these over. And there we go. We have a pretty good setup. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the rest of these wet carrots just to get them out of the way so we have less mutations to worry about for our spinos. All right. So our kappas are done. We only are down to our Raiju now, but let's go ahead and get some of our other guaranteed pet mutations ready. Oh, actually, before we do that, what am I saying, dude? We got to get our sprays done. So let's go ahead and add the pollinated spray back onto our grape. Let's go ahead and add the chocolate spray back onto there as well. So we got rainbow, chocolate, wet, and pollinated. We're gonna go ahead and add some for my main account as well. So let's go ahead and add shocked back onto that. Cloud touched, verdant, glimmering, and luminous. There we go. So this thing now from sprays has about 9 mutations, and we're about to get the rest from our pets. All right, so now that that's all good, we can go ahead and favorite this just so we don't accidentally pick it up. We do also have a bloodlet grape in there, but we have that carrot over there, so I'm gonna pick that grape up. All right, but yeah, this guy is good. Let's, keep him favorited. We don't want our Raiju to eat him as well. And so with that, I'm actually gonna go ahead and favorite this carrot because that has shocked on it. I don't want him to eat that carrot. All right, that should be good. Nothing else is shocked. All right, perfect. So our Raiju will feast in just a minute here. I'm going to boost him so we get that done. He'll feast on this carrot, give us static. And then with that, we can go ahead and spawn in our peach wasp to work on plasma, since that takes about 20 minutes. Our corrupt kitsune, so that takes about 16 minutes to get corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra. We're going to get our spriggan in here. That also takes a while to get bloom. And then we can get, I think we might be able to actually start on our disco bees since we got a lot of our other pets done here. Let me just check. All right, so I was just making sure that I didn't miss anything, and I think I'm good. So I think we can go ahead and actually spawn in our disco bees, and then after we'll do our chicken zombies and the gnome, and then we'll be ready for our AFK setup. So this should be good here. I guess after our Raiju is done, I'll just throw in our gnome into the mix, and then we'll be good. And then we can finish these up and then be ready for our AFK setup. Yeah, that actually saved a lot of time getting the guaranteed pets done while we waited for rainbow. All right, so we should be good with our Raiju only targeting this carrot. Everything else that has shocked on it is favorited. Yeah, okay, good job, buddy. Don't eat anything else, only that one. All right, so we got static on some sugar apples and some carrots, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the carrots and surround the sugar apples. And our Raiju is good, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up and replace him with our gnome, actually, so we can get gnome done. And then I'm just gonna make sure I pick up everything else with shocked, or I mean static, just so it's less. All right, I think we're fine. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and unfavorite these again, and we're good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and BRB for just a couple minutes here while we wait for these cooldowns to finish up, and then I'll come back and see if we get any of these mutations done. So I'll be right back for a minute. All right, some of our pets are almost done with their cooldown, so I'm gonna boost them and see what we can get. Let's boost a disco bee. Get disco, maybe. Failed. All right, next disco bee. Failed. All right, I'm gonna just boost these two together. Failed. And all right, perfect. We got disco done on a sugar apple, so we can go ahead and pick up these guys now. Disco bees are done. I'm gonna boost the gnome to hopefully get gnome done. All right, that failed, but we should get it probably by the next time because we have so many gnomes now. I'll boost the Spriggan to get bloom done in a second, the Krupp Kitsune to get Krupp Chakra or Foxfire Krupp Chakra done, and then the Peach Ross. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer before I boost that because he has a pretty long cooldown still. But since we got the chicken zombies done, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in. I mean, sorry, we got the disco bees done, not the chicken zombies. I'm stupid. But since we got disco done, I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting zombified now from the chicken zombies. So we're gonna spawn these guys in, and hopefully they'll be quick and easy to give us zombified. And then let's go ahead and wait this next minute to see if we get Krupp Chakra or Foxfire Krupp Chakra. All right, let's see what we get here. Maybe we'll get Foxfire Krupp Chakra today, maybe. All right, we got Krupp Chakra on some carrots, and that's it. Only 2 carrots got it. All right, so I guess I'll just move this over here then and pick up the other one. That's fine. So we can go ahead and pick up our Krupp Kitsune then, and I guess I'm going to replace him with a queen bee to help with our cooldowns for the chicken zombies since they take forever. So we have a little bit of a faster, or maybe like an extra chicken zombie chance pretty much, because once these finish, she'll cool down another one. She'll cool down another one of these chicken zombies, and then we'll have a better chance for that. All right, so our Spriggan is now going to give us the blue mutation. It's kind of far away from... Oh, there's some carrots and sugar apples. You should be fine. Yeah, plenty of space. All right, so we got some over here on these carrots, so we can go ahead and pick up the rest that he applied bloom to, and we're good. We're cleaned up here. All right, so yeah, bloom is done and out of the way. We can go ahead and pick up our Spriggan. Let's go ahead and boost that peach wasp to get plasma done in the next minute and a half. And while we wait for that, oh, he's actually stinging one of our pets, a zombie. Okay, that works. All right, so while we wait for that plasma mutation, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in a mimic octopus to help us with more chance to get zombified. And then after that, hopefully we get gnome done before we get zombified, and then we should be perfectly ready for our AFK setup. All right, let's go and get plasma done. Okay, likes this carrot, just stuck on it. All right, cool. Thank you. I hope you're okay down there. All right, so I'm gonna throw this over here, and plasma is now done, so we can pick up our peach wasp, and I'm gonna spawn in another chicken zombie because I forgot I have 5 of them, and hopefully we get zombified done soon, and then we'll be ready to go for our AFK setup once we have that, and hopefully gnomed. All right, so we have acid rain going on right now, and a bunch of our carrots are getting the acidic mutation applied to them, so we will be able to get corrosive, which is good for extra multipliers. And also our gnome is almost done with this cooldown with our chicken zombies here, so I'm really hoping that we can see zombified getting applied and we can get gnome done, and then we can be ready to go for our AFK setup. So I guess we'll go ahead and see real quick what happens here. All right, hopefully we get gnomed, please. All right, failed, so we're gonna have to wait around for gnomed a little bit longer, but that's fine, I guess. All right, let's see if we get zombified done, though. We have this guy with about 20 seconds left on the cooldown, and then these with 2 minutes. So I guess we'll just see real quick if we get this chicken zombie to apply zombified. Otherwise, we got to wait like another minute and a half for the rest of them. All right, let's see. Zombified. All right, look at that. First one, we got zombified added to a carrot. Okay, well, that was easy. We got all this prep ready for our chicken zombies. Like, we got all these ready and boosted, and like got it pretty quick. And here's another one that failed. All right, well, anyways, we can go ahead and pick up our mimic octopus, queen bee, all these chicken zombies here, get them all out of the way. Actually, we are pretty much ready for our AFK setup here. Our gnome has not given us gnomed yet, but we can go ahead and AFK with that one, and then just come back when we get some more mutations and replace some of our pets with Spinos. So we have the gnome already in here to get gnome. Let's go ahead and spawn in our tranquil scarlet to get the tranquil mutation, our corrupt scarlet to get the corrupt mutation, got the space scroll for void touched, junkbot for oil, aromatic spaghetti sloth for sauce, pasta, and meatball to get spaghetti, and we have the aromatic shard to get aromatic, of course, lobster for meteoric and molten, which will give us infernal and blazing, and our griffin to give us cyclonic, which could be maelstrom and storm charged. So there we go. We have our 8 AFK pets ready to to go. We're going to go ahead and AFK for a bit, see if we get any of them done. Once one gets done, we'll replace it with the Spino, and then the more that get done, we'll replace those with some more Spinosauruses, and then we'll be able to get everything moved over to our grape. So I'm going to just go ahead and make sure this is favorited still, which it is, and nothing else is favorited, so our Spinos will be able to eat once we spawn them in, and we're good to go AFK now. All right, so we just got gnomed actually applied to a carrot before I went AFK, which means we can go ahead and move this gnomed carrot over here, and then we can go ahead and spawn in a Mega Spinosaurus and get mutations to start getting moved over to our grape. And I think we're good. All right, so I'm back from my first wave of AFKing, and we did get some mutations done while I was AFK. So we do have pasta on this grape here, and we do have molten done. So those two mutations are out of the way. We also have meatball done and cyclonic on two different carrots. We could try to get maelstrom and storm charged. We also did get corrupt done, and I got to climb up to my sugar apples to see what else went on up here. More molten, more meatballs. But yeah, it looks like a lot of this stuff got moved over that we had up here, but I'll also have to check the actual plant to see what we got applied. Okay, we also have oil done. I feel like we got some decent ones done. There's probably more. Oh, and tranquil's done. All right, so there's probably more on the actual grape. We'll have to just look. But our griffin's done with cyclonic. Our spaghetti sloth maybe still needs to give us aromatic. I'll have to look at the grape. The junk bot is done. We got oil, and then we got tranquil, and we got corrupt. So it looks like we still have our lobster, spaghetti sloth, and space squirrel. So real quick, I am going to just go ahead and take a look on here to see what's got moved over while I was gone. I can't really tell because these are in the way. There we go. Okay, so we do have aromatic done. It looks like we still need sauce. That's the only mutation we need from our spaghetti sloth. So we just need to get sauce. And I think we still need like the other ones. So we still need meteoric and stuff. So, okay. Yeah, so we made some decent progress. I thought we'd be a little bit further along, but at least we can get our spinos to start moving stuff over. So that is good enough for now. Let's go ahead and refavorite this grape. And yeah, we already got pasta moved over, and we can use this one for molten, and that should be good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and replace those pets that we picked up with some more spinos. Actually, let me go ahead and boost the space squirrel real quick to see if we get void touch. I didn't see it on anything, but let me see. Okay, well, now we literally have it on the grape, so that works. Void touch is done now. So now it looks like we just need to get sauce, which I guess I can boost the spaghetti sloth to see if we'll get it done, and then we just need to get meteoric done. And that seems to be the rest of them. I'll go ahead and boost these guys, see if we get it, but besides that, we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in then our other Mega Spinosaurus, regular Spinosaurus, other regular Spinosaurus, and I guess I'll do a Mimic Octopus in the mix as well, and we'll also get our Queen Bee, and with all that, we should have a really speedy process of getting the rest of our mutations moved over to our favorited grape, and then having a grape with every mutation in Grow Garden. All right, it has been a few hours, and we are back to our grape with all of these mutations on it. As you can see here, we have all of these mutations. We even got Maelstrom and Storm Charge today, so they didn't combine, which is actually nice for some extra multipliers. So in total, we have 36 mutations on our grape. However, if we separate Cosmic, we'd have about 37. Separate Spaghetti, 39. Abyssal, 40. Corrosive, 41. Harmonized Chakra, 42. Maelstrom would bring us to about 44, I want to say. Gloom, 45. Paradisal, 46. Storm Charge would be about 48. And Infernal would bring us to about 50 mutations on this grape. So this grape actually has about 50 mutations total on it. We got a lot on this thing with some really good multipliers on it. And we're going to go ahead and use our magnifying glass first to see the value. And then we're going to try to get amber on it with our raptors. So let's go ahead and check the value of our grape without further ado. In 3, 2, 1, boom. Our grape is worth 69 million, which isn't the best, but the grape really isn't one of the best seeds that you can get in the shop. However, we got this thing to almost 100 million, which is still pretty good. Oh wait, hold on. Am I tripping? I think I'm tripping. What am I saying? That's 69 billion. Why can't I count right now? Hold on. Okay, I'm actually tripping. I'm sorry. This thing is worth 69 billion. 69.1 billion actually. So that's 100 million mark. That's 69 billion. So we actually did get in the billion marks with this grape. Sorry.
I don't know what I'm saying.
But yeah, this thing is worth 69 billion, which is actually really good for a grape. And again, like I was saying, this isn't one of the best seeds that you can get. And the fact that we got this thing to be 69 billion is actually very, very good. So I'm going to go ahead and try to see if we can get amber on it now with our raptors. Let's go ahead and spawn all these guys in. All right, there we go. And they all are about to end with their boost. So let's go ahead and pick this up quick.
Nope.
All right, we did not get amber though on it still, but I mean, this thing is pretty good. 69 billion for this grape. I mean, look how insane it looks. You can't even really see what's going on, but I guess you can tell it's a grape with the void touched effect flying around. That's close enough. But yeah, this grape is worth 69 billion with about like 50 mutations on it again. So pretty good overall. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below if this grape is worth it, if you like growing grapes in your grow-a-garden garden. And make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe for some more videos like this, and comment down below what you want to see me do next. See you guys in the next one. In today's Roblox Grow a Garden video, we are going to be attempting to get every single mutation on the broccoli. A lot of you guys have been requesting this one, so we're going to be doing it today. Now, what's a little different today compared to the last video when we did the firewell is that I did not AFK to get Dawnbound, so we are pretty much starting from square one today with all these mutations, and we don't have any to start off with. And that means today we're also going to have to AFK for a while to get the Dawnbound mutation from my Ascended Mooncat. That'll be fun. More of a challenge today to start from square one like we normally have been doing. So let's go ahead and just get right into this one. All right, so first things first is I'm actually going to go ahead and spawn in my apple gazelle here, and we're going to spawn in my 3 mandrakes, and we're actually going to go ahead and pick up these sugar apples that have the wet mutation on them and that are boring and kind of gross over here to try and get the warp mutation. There we go. We have the warp mutation that just spread to this sugar apple here. So our apple gazelle is actually done. We can go ahead and pick that guy up. We're going to go ahead then and spawn in an advanced sprinkler right here. And we're going to throw down some mandrake seeds. And we're just going to keep watering these and trying to get the rot mutation from our mandrakes real quick. All right, we didn't get any there. Let's try it again. All right, we just got to do this a couple of times until we get that rot mutation. Come on. Oh, you know what? I'm going to boost these guys. They're not boosted. That would probably help. All right. Now let's... Oh yeah, look at that. Literally right away once they're boosted. All right, so we have the rot mutation applied to one of our sugar apples over here. All right, so we are good. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the rest of these. And we can go ahead now and pick up our mandrakes to get them out of the way. And we are good to go with the actual broccoli. So let's go ahead and place our broccoli down. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up by using my main account to grow all. All right, there we go. Here is our broccoli plant. So there's a couple of different broccolis on it. We have 3 broccolis at once, but now we're going to go ahead and get our sprinklers down to get a big broccoli. So let's do our Grandmaster, Master, Godly, Advanced, and basic sprinklers. And there we go. We're going to also go ahead and spawn in all of our Mooncats here, and we'll spawn in 1 Triceratops to hopefully give us a big broccoli. This guy will smack it, and we should get a big one, and then we can hit grow all again to finish the growth. But yeah, let's go ahead and wait. Let's see if we get a big broccoli to grow in, and hopefully we get a nice one so we can make a lot of good money today with these mutations and the big broccoli that we're about to grow, because this is pathetic right here. Okay, all right, we got some Mooncats sleeping. This is a good group right here. Oh, we got some more over here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in this group though of like 3 stacked Mooncats, and it's pretty close to the sprinkler still, so that should help it get affected even more. Oh yeah, there we go. We're getting a big broccoli to grow in. We're just gonna see if we get any other growths. Okay, there's one actually growing right here. It looks to be a gold one, but it doesn't look as big as this one, but we'll look at them whenever they're actually grown in. What the heck, bro? That thing is puny compared to these two. What? Why is this one even trying? All right, Triceratops is coming in. Boom. Oh, there we go. That's way better. What the heck, dude? This thing is huge. Wait, this thing is really long, but what is this one then? This one's just like a little stubby guy. Is he gonna be as big or bigger than that? I guess we'll see. Let's go ahead and just hit the grow all button again and just see what we get here. Oh my gosh, bro. Look at how big these broccolis are. That thing is huge. That one goes way out there. All right, we definitely have our broccoli. That is crazy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and favorite this one then, just so we don't pick it up. Yeah, this one just needed some motivation because this guy got extremely big. But this one is definitely our biggest one. So we're gonna pick up these 2 and we are good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all of our pets here. Let's go ahead and get some mutations on this so we can get it ready to become rainbow. So I'm gonna throw a windstruck spray on that. We'll throw a pollinated on it, a chocolate, and we'll save the rest of our sprays on this account, and then we'll come over here on our main account and we'll spray it with a, let's see here, we'll spray with a verdant spray and a cloud touch spray. There we go. And now this thing has 5 mutations that can be converted to rainbow. So we're going to go ahead and spawn in our queen bee, our butterfly, and the queen bee will cool down our butterfly and convert this thing to rainbow. We're also going to go ahead and spawn in our golden goose here so we can get a fortune egg ready, and we're also gonna go ahead and spawn in our Raiju so we can get the static mutation done. And then with that, we're gonna spawn in a carrot seed. We're gonna bring our main account over here to use one of its shock sprays on the carrot. There we go. And then I'm also going to go ahead and just place a couple more carrots in front of this. So the Raiju will eat this shocked carrot, and then it will slam the static mutation into these carrots. Our AFK setup for the next like 15 or so minutes is ready. It'll probably be about 10 minutes because we're going to boost our queen bee, get the butterfly to cool down, get this rainbow, and then we'll wait to get our fortune egg, and we'll get the static mutation done. So this will get a couple mutations done so we could be ready for the rest of our pets in just a minute here. And I guess while we're at it, since these guys have pretty short cooldowns, I guess we can go ahead and just spawn in our pterodactyl now as well to work on getting tempestuous. Since he has a pretty quick cooldown, we can get these guys done out of the way before this even gets rainbow. So I'll save some time in a couple minutes. So we're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and let this get rainbow, let these guys do their things, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, real quick, our Kitsune is running in to apply the chakra mutation, and it applied it to one of the sugar apples, which is good. We don't want it to get on this broccoli because that's about to go to rainbow. So we have the chakra mutation ready to go, and we'll get that moved over later. And our pets on this account, of course, are still waiting for their cooldowns. Our Raiju will be done in a few minutes. We have to reboost the pterodactyl because the toy was off by a little bit, and then the golden goose we're going to boost in a little bit, and that'll be done as well. All right, our Raiju just ate our shocked carrot and applied static only to our sugar apples, which is surprising. I put all these carrots here for him to just not want them, but that's fine. At least we got it on some sugar apples, so we're good. Our Raiju's done. We're going to reboost our pterodactyl, get tempestuous done, hopefully, and out of the way, and then our golden goose will lay its egg. And that will be some of our, I guess, guaranteed mutations done and out of the way, and then we'll have a little bit less to worry about in a minute when we start with all of these guys down here. I guess I could start adding in some of these other pets as well. I want to do the peach wasp, but that will make our queen bee target that, so I'm going to skip that for now. But I guess we could also spawn in our lemon lion here to get the brain rot mutation done now, since it's only a 5-minute cooldown. But all right, there we go. So we got Twisted and Windstruck on a sugar apple, which means we have tempestuous added into the mix over there. So our pterodactyl is done, and then our golden goose is going to lay its egg next. And you know what? I guess since we have the lemon lion going to get brain rot, hopefully it doesn't add it to our big broccoli. I'm going to go ahead and also get a phoenix in here because the phoenix has about the same cooldown, and these guys will be done before we actually get this to convert to rainbow. Actually, you know what? If we boost the queen bee, I think, yeah. So we'll have rainbow in about 4 minutes, but this will, again, just give us a little bit of a head start with our guaranteed pets and their mutations, so that's fine. All right, so yeah, we'll get flaming done next, and then we'll also get brain rot done next, but our butterfly still has the biggest cooldown, so our queen bee will cool this down and still give us rainbow, so we'll be good. But anyways, our golden goose is going to give us a fortune egg that we can make scrambled eggs out of. I mean, get the fortune mutation out of. Thank you. I'm going to pick you up now and put this golden fortune egg over here because this will be where our Spinos eat. I'm also going to rotate this broccoli plant because it's kind of in the way of where we normally put our platter. So let me do that real quick. I'll go into my main account's garden with it. And then we could go ahead and move our golden fortune egg over here. All right. Well, good-ish timing, I guess. We have a heat wave event going on, and our tanning mirror is placed here, so I guess it won't really matter too much because these broccoli should be able to get sun-dried done out of the way. But this is about to turn into a rainbow broccoli. Now it's paradisal, but thankfully it is still 5 mutations and it didn't just eat one of them, because then we would have almost missed our opportunity there. But we're good. So our queen bee is about to be done with this cooldown. It'll cool down our butterfly and turn this thing into a rainbow. And then also in the mix, our phoenix is almost done with flaming, and that'll be applied to probably these carrots. And then our lemon lion's about to give us brain rot, so we have some good stuff happening. Hopefully the brain rot doesn't get applied to the broccoli. I mean, if it does, not a big deal, but that would be unfortunate, I guess. But there we go. Queen bee's done, pulling down our butterfly. Butterfly is going to go ahead and convert this to rainbow now, and thankfully we got brain rot onto a sugar apple, so we're good. And our broccoli is now rainbow, so we are good with some of these pets. Let's go ahead and pick up our queen bee, butterfly, lemon lion, and then our phoenix will give us flaming next. All right, so we can go ahead and favorite this broccoli now that it is good to go and get some mutations on it. We can reapply our pollinated to it. We can reapply our chocolate to it. We're going to go ahead and get our honey sprinkler on to it. Perfect. So now it is honey glazed as well. And let's go ahead and get our main account back over here to apply some mutations directly to it. So we're going to apply the shocked spray to it. We're going to apply verdant back onto it. We're going to apply cloud touched, luminous, and glimmering. And now this thing is up to 9 mutations, and we're about to have a lot more with our pets adding mutations and our Spinos moving those mutations over as well. And there we go. Our phoenix is applying the flaming mutation to a bunch of our sugar apples and this carrot. I'm just going to go ahead and pick up this carrot to get that out of the way. So with that, we can go ahead now and get started with the rest of our mutations here. So I'm going to pick up this phoenix. Let's go ahead and spawn in our cockatrice for the toxic mutation. We're going to spawn in, we'd already used you. We're going to spawn in our peach wasp to get the plasma mutation done. Our giant badger to get the cracked mutation done. We need our corrupt kitsune so we can get corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra done. We're going to spawn in some jackalopes so we can get sandy done and out of the way. And what else can we spawn in that is guaranteed? We did get some of them out of the way. I guess we can spawn in our grizzly bears because these guys got to give us the fall mutation, and these aren't really guaranteed, but we can get them done. All right, so this is a decent setup here to get some of our mutations done. I'm gonna go through my inventory and make sure I'm not missing anyone. There's just so many pets now that I forget. I guess we'll do kappas after that. Oh, we gotta get our swan done. So you know what? I guess I'll pick up one of these grizzly bears for now and throw the swan in there just because that's guaranteed to get graceful. All right, so the cracked mutation has just been applied to a ton of stuff here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this guy up. Since it's done, bro, you're good. You don't need to keep applying it. You're good. He's gonna keep applying it anyways. But we have a bunch of cracked carrots, a bunch of cracked sugar apples, and a cracked golden egg, so we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up these carrots just to save some time later, since we have cracked on so much stuff now. Yeah, he applied it to 22 fruits, bro. That you're good. We got it, man. We understood. I guess I'll do another grizzly bear. Let's just try to get fall out of the way, and then we can focus on these guys that we have down here. But yeah, let's try to get fall done. And yeah, we have a decent setup here, so we're just gonna wait around and get these mutations done and out of the way. All right, perfect. Our jackalope just applied sandy to this carrot, so we can go ahead and get our jackalopes out of the way. Let's go ahead and move this over here. I guess since our jackalopes are done, let's go ahead and spawn in a spriggan so we can get bloom done, and we'll also spawn in our kappas here to get bloodlet done. And I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in some more carrot seeds just so both the spriggans and the kappas have an easier time to get bloodlet and bloom done. All right, so let's go ahead and reboost that swan to get graceful done. All right, graceful is being applied. It is on the sugar apple over here, so we are good. Thank you to our swan for the graceful mutation, and hopefully we can get fall done now so we can have an extra 2 pet slots. All right, failed. All right, we're gonna have to wait a while for these grizzly bears, I guess. It's so loud. Turn it down. All right, but since our swan is done, I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in our first disco bee here to start working on trying to get disco done. And as we get more of these pets done, I'll add more disco bees in, and then we'll do our chicken zombies. And then after that, we should be good to go for our AFK setup. All right, well, this will give us another pet slot here. Our cockatrice is going to apply toxic to some of our fruits now. All right, so we got it on one of the broccolis, actually, and one of these carrots here. And I think we got it on a sugar apple, but since it's on that broccoli, we're good. We can go ahead and pick up the cockatrice now. It's an extra pet slot. So I guess with that extra pet slot, I'll throw in another disco bee so we can start working on getting disco done. All right, perfect. Our bear just roared in my ear, and he applied the fall mutation to our golden egg, so that is done. And we also just got a free cooldown from our peach wasp onto our disco bee, so that helps as well. But since these grizzly bears are now done, we have the fall mutation. We can get them out of the way, and we can go ahead and spawn in 2 more disco bees to try and get disco done. Once disco is done, we'll focus on getting zombified done, so that is good. All right, randomly an earthquake just started happening, but it is nighttime. It is that 4-hour mark, so we are good to go. And again, if you want to know when events like this are going to happen, you could join my Discord, discord.gg/bandites, and there's a bot in there. It'll tell you when events are happening and all the good stuff, okay? But anyways, we are getting a nighttime event, so once we get moonlit at least on one thing, then we are good to go. We'll probably get it on multiple, of course, because that's just how it is. You get moonlit on so much. You know, we also have a night staff, a couple of them. So I'm going to throw this over here so we can try to just get it on the broccoli directly. Oh, okay. Well, we got it on a sugar apple, so we are good. We have moonlit done, and that will be another mutation we can add on to our broccoli shortly. I'm going to go ahead and boost our corrupt kitsune and get that done and out of the way so we can start spawning in some chicken zombies. And then we have some disco bees almost done, so I'm going to boost these guys to hopefully give us disco. Our spriggan still has quite a while, and our peach wasp still has quite a while, but once those guys are out of the way, again, we'll replace them with some chicken zombies. But we are good. We got moonlit done, and we just have this random earthquake now that is running through everything. Ah, perfect. We got disco done on a sugar apple, so that'll save us some time, and we can get started with the chicken zombies. But there we go. We got corrupt chakra on a sugar apple and a carrot. I'm going to go and just pick up this carrot because we have it on that sugar apple. So let's pick up the corrupt kitsune. Let's pick up our disco bees here, and let's go ahead and spawn in our chicken zombies now so we can get started with trying to get zombified done. All right, there we go. 5 chicken zombies. They have about a 20-minute cooldown, but I'm sure one of them will help us get zombified out of the way. Our peach wasp is finally almost done. Our spriggan is finally almost done. I will have to reboost him, but I was testing his cooldown out with a toy. And then our kappa will hopefully apply bloodlet now. Let's go ahead and just wait a second here to see if our kappa will give us bloodlet. If he does, we can go ahead and swap him out for the gnome and try to get gnome done early, and that will give us a slot later so we can work on getting the spinos to start moving everything over to our broccoli. But let's just quickly see if he'll give us bloodlet. Hopefully he just wants pancakes really bad and sticks around the spot, but he's moving. Hey, buddy, come back over here. The pancakes need you. We're not done with you over here. Come here. Yeah, come here, buddy.
Nope.
No, bad. Kappa, come here, dude. Come here, dude. What are you doing? No, 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 no. Kappa, Kappa, over here, man. All right, he's definitely not gonna give us bloodlet unless he runs over here. He's just hovering over here. He's being goofy, and nothing happened because he wasn't over here. All right, well, I guess it was worth a shot. But our Peach Wasp is about to be done with this cooldown and give us plasma finally, so we can swap it out with the gnome, and then I guess the Spriggan we can swap out with like a mimic octopus or something to try and get zombified done a little bit faster. All right, Peach Wasp, go ahead and give us plasma. Gliding over to a carrot. Which carrot do you like, buddy? This one? Good choice, good choice. All right, we got plasma on the carrot. We can go ahead and pick up the Peach Wasp and throw this over here in the mix. Cool. All right, so that's done. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn another Kappa so we can get bloodlet done out of the way, and then once the Spriggan's done, we'll throw in the gnome, and then of course we have a while for these chicken zombies. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and boost my Spriggan since he's right here. Let's go ahead and get bloom on one of these carrots, or a lot of these carrots, I guess. All right, well, it's on this one with the sandy, so that's fine. And I'm gonna actually just pick up some of these. If they have wet on them, I'm gonna keep them there just so we can have better chance for getting bloodlet done. So I guess we'll keep some of these with bloom on them. But all right, we are good. We can go ahead and pick up the Spriggan now. I'm gonna boost the Kappa, and actually I guess I can boost both of the Kappas. That one's still needs a while, bro. As soon as I boost them, they run away. Actually, this is the one we need right here. Mally, come on, give us bloodlet, please. Buddy, stop running away. Stop running away from your problems. All right, thank you. Oh, hey, stop, bro. All right, stay right there. Give us bloodlet, please. All right, we got bloodlet on 3 fruits. Thank you. And there we go. We have bloodlet done. So the Kappas are good. We can go ahead and pick up these guys here. And I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my gnome now to try and get gnome done a little bit early. And let's go ahead and spawn in a queen bee to help with our chicken zombies and also a mimic octopus. And then with that, once we get zombified done, we'll be officially ready for our AFK setup. Okay, first try, we got gnome applied to a carrot, so that's perfect. The gnome mutation is done. And now our chicken zombies, all of them are about to be done with their cooldown, so let's see if we get zombified done. All right, first one failed. All the other ones have about a minute left, so let's just see if we can get zombified done. But that was very useful that we got that done pretty quick. All right, failed. What about these other guys here? We have 3 more. Come on, zombified. One of you. Failed. All right, 2 more. Katie or Bella, let's go. Let's get zombified done. Failed. All right, and failed. All right, well, they all failed, but that's fine. What we're gonna go ahead and do then is pick up all these. Let's go ahead and pick up everything we have except 1 chicken zombie, so we'll leave this one here, Shano, and let's go ahead and get ready for our AFK setup then. So we're gonna spawn in a Tranquil Scarlet for the Tranquil mutation, Corrupted Scarlet for Corrupt, Space Squirrel for Void Touched, a Griffin for Cyclonic, which can give us Maelstrom or Storm Charge, our Aromatic Spaghetti Sloth, which can give us Meatball Sauce and Pasta to get spaghetti, and then aromatic as the shard is on it. And there we go. We have 6 pets done, so we got to go ahead and spawn in our junk bot to get oil, and we got to spawn in our lobster to give us molten and meteoric, which can also give us infernal and blazing. So there we go. Those are all of our AFK pets set, and what we're gonna go ahead and do is just AFK, and once we get at least one of these pets completely done, we'll spawn in a Spino, and we'll replace it with the Spinosaurus, and then the more pets we get done will be replaced with more Spinosauruses until we have an army of Spinos, and then everything will get moved over to our broccoli. So we'll check back in a little bit, see what mutations we get done, replace them with Spinos, and then we'll fulfill our AFK grind and have the best broccoli and grow a garden. All right, so I just got back from our first AFK wave, and at some point I disconnected. My internet just died, I guess, while I was AFK. So that is not fun. However, we did get some stuff done. So we do have 2 cyclonic carrots, which means we can probably get this tempestuous carrot to try and get Maelstrom and cyclonic. I don't think you can stack them anymore, but it's worth a shot. If I hit the right order with the Spinos, then maybe. But anyways, with that, we also got a molten shocked carrot here. We got a few molten carrots, actually. So that's nice. So I'm actually going to go ahead, and since we had those cyclonic carrots, I'm going to go ahead and pick up this griffin here. And then on our golden egg here, we actually did get zombified, which is nice. So I can go ahead and pick up our chicken zombie as well. And then looking through here, we did get another cyclonic. Well, we already have 2, right? Yeah, so we have a lot of cyclonic fruits, but we can go ahead and pick up some of these. Another molten. This one has pasta on it, so I will keep this. So pasta is done. Let me go ahead and check that off my list over here real quick. Let's see if we got anything on the golden, or the, not the golden apples, the sugar apples, which right here I instantly jumped up, and there's oil. So oil is done. Let me go ahead and pick up our junk bot. What is happening? Oh, sudden god event. Wow, I did not expect that. So let's check our other plants here. We did get meatball done, so that is another one we could check off the list. And we got sauce done, so we actually have all these spaghetti mutations. We just need aromatic. So if we do see aromatic in the mix somewhere, then we are done with our spaghetti sloth. Oh, and we got meteoric done. I didn't realize. Okay, so we have meteoric done, so I can go ahead and cross that off as well. So our lobster is actually done with its job. So yeah, I think we still need aromatic, tranquil, corrupt, and void touch, because I do not see void touch as well. So we made some good progress, though. I am going to go ahead and pick up these other carrots here just to get some of these extra mutations out of the way. And now we have a clean palette to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and place some more carrot seeds just to make it easier for my pets, so we get tranquil, corrupt, aromatic, and void touch possibly. Actually, these guys have pretty much infinite reach, so it shouldn't really matter, but just in case, even if we get some events, it would be nice. So we now have 4 pet slots available to use. So with that, all right, make sure that's favorited, because we're going to go ahead and bring in our 2 mega spinosauruses and 1 regular spinosaurus here to start eating away at all the mutations and moving them over to our broccoli plant. And then we're also going to spawn in our ascended mooncat to work on getting that dawnbound mutation. Now this guy's literally going to take about 6 hours to get dawnbound done, but when we boost him, it'll probably be like 5 or 4 hours, but right now it's like 6 p.m. so it's going to be close to midnight when we're done with this, but at least we'll have the progress made, so that'll be good. Now all we're going to do is go ahead and wait for our spinos to move everything over. We're going to wait to get these last couple of mutations, and then we'll be ready to check the value of our big broccoli. So it's time to go AFK for a little bit longer. I'll see you guys soon. All right, so we went AFK for maybe about like 5 or 6 hours to make sure we got dawnbound added and we got everything else moved over from our spinosauruses, and here is our broccoli. This thing is actually insane. Like, it is so big and crazy looking, and it has a lot of mutations on it. So if we actually unfavorite it here, we can see all of the mutations added to our broccoli. We actually have a total of 39 mutations, and then if we separate some of these, like spaghetti would be up to about 41 mutations, ceramic would bring us to about 43 mutations, abyssal 44 mutations, harmonized chakra 45, gloom 46, paradisal 47, storm charged would bring us to about 49, and infernal, I believe, would bring us to about 51 mutations on this broccoli. So this thing is actually insane. As it's huge, has a lot of mutations on it, so I think it's got to be worth some good money. So first we're going to check with the magnifying glass to see how much this thing is actually worth, and then we're going to spawn in our raptors to see if we can amber on it and see if that boosts the price at all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pull out our magnifying glass and see how much our broccoli is worth in 3, 2, 1. All right, so this broccoli with all of these mutations and at this size is worth 2.2 trillion, which is pretty good for this being like the first fruit that you can buy in the friendship tier of the shop. So honestly, not bad. And this thing grew pretty big, pretty fast. Like, it didn't really take much effort to get this thing this big. However, it did take a lot of effort for the mutations, but overall 2.2 trillion is pretty good for this piece of broccoli. So let's go ahead now and spawn in our raptors to see if we can get amber, and if we can, that might actually boost our mutations up a little bit. So let's spawn in all of our raptors here, and they're all boosted. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pick it up and see if we get amber. And wow, look at that. We actually got amber the first time in a while. Like, look at how crazy this thing is, dude. I don't even see it anymore. It's just flashing lights. It's so crazy and insane. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my main account, and let's see how much amber actually bumped up the price of this thing. So give me a second to bring my main in here. All right, so all we're going to do to check the updated value is give a trading ticket to my main account here, and we're going to just put it in the trade menu and see how big this thing is. Okay, so it's actually not going to show me what the full value is. Surprisingly, it went down, and it only shows 1.9 trillion. And I believe if we actually bring this thing over to Steven here and we see how much it's worth, it's only going to cap at 1 trillion. Oh no, actually it shows 1.9 trillion. So for whatever reason, getting the amber mutation actually made this thing go down in value, I guess, or the size for some reason got affected and it's actually not as big as it's supposed to be. I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know why it went down in price. It should go up, but I guess we do have another mutation added on to this piece of broccoli, so that's that. Anyways, let me know if you guys think the broccoli is worth it. Let me know down in the comments below, and also make sure to drop a like on this video. Comment also down below what mutations you want to see me get on what fruits, and make sure to subscribe for some more videos like this one. See you guys in the next video. One of the new best seeds that you can actually get inside of Grow a Garden is the Cocoa Mango, and a lot of people have requested me to get this thing every single mutation in the game to see what it would be worth. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. This seed's also pretty special because to actually get it, you have to have a friendship level with Sam, and you know, Sam's kind of picky on, you know, who he's friends with, so I feel special that I was able to get this Cocoa Mango seed from him. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and plant the Cocoa Mango right here, and we're also gonna go ahead and plant some sugar apples, and we're gonna do what we did last video to make this a little bit easier to get some of the mutations out of the way. So I'm gonna plant 5 more sugar apple trees here, and then all we're gonna go ahead and do is go to my main account, and we're gonna actually hit that grow all button, so that way our Cocoa Mango will grow, but also our sugar apples, and you'll see why we're doing this. Hold on. All right, so So we have some pretty newbie cocoa mangoes, but we're going to get rid of these. We're going to actually get a pretty good one in a second. But first, before we do that, we're going to use our apple gazelle, and we're going to use this guy to just get us the warp mutation done and out of the way. So we're going to pick up some sugar apples until we get warped. Oh, and actually we had a golden egg in our inventory, so we just got fortune on one of our sugar apples here. So I will make sure I favorite that real quick, so we won't actually have to use our golden goose. All right, we got warped on one of our sugar apples. It's this one over here that's actually not even spawned in, but warped is there. So once that regrows, we'll have it. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this warped sugar apple over here. We're also gonna move this fortune sugar apple over here. I'll move this one as well, since we're gonna get a lot of glimmerings, but I guess I can go ahead and move this one as well, since it already has glimmering on it, to our little buffet platter. So I'm gonna pick up the rest of these sugar apples here, and we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the apple gazelle, and let's go ahead and pick up these cocoa mangoes, since these are too small for us. And we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our moon cats here, and we're also going to get a triceratops spawned in to help with some growth. And then let's go ahead and get our sprinklers on here. So we're gonna put down a grandmaster sprinkler, we're gonna put down a master, godly, advanced, and basic, and then hopefully this will all help give us some pretty big cocoa mangoes here. And then we can go ahead and get started with getting all the mutations. So let's try to get our moon cats asleep in a good group here. Let's see. Okay, there's a couple going like right here. I'm gonna do right here because there's two of them. Okay, that's actually a pretty big cocoa mango there, so that's a good sign. But we got to get bigger than that. I think we can get way bigger than that with the moon cats sleeping on it, but I don't think that's gonna be big enough for us. We need bigger. Yeah, like that. That's looking a little bit bigger. So we're gonna delete this one. We're gonna keep doing this until we get a really big one. This one's a better size, but I think we can get even bigger than that. So let's just keep trying this until we get a big one, and then we can start getting some mutations put onto this thing. Okay, here's an even bigger cocoa mango growing. So we're just getting bigger and bigger as we go up. This one might be our winner, but we're gonna try to get one more to grow in pretty big. I will put this on the moon cats one more time. We'll see what we get, but I'm gonna keep deleting these smaller ones. But yeah, I think this cocoa mango might be our winner here. This thing is humongous. All right, can we get a good group of moon cats to sleep on it? Okay, there's like 3 of them. Come on, come on, come on. Pile up right here, pile up right here. Go to bed, go to bed. Go to bed. Oh, they're all moving around. All right, these two are pretty close in size. However, this one is still bigger, I think. So I think we might have our winner here. This thing is just growing in real nicely. So, I'm stuck inside of it. I'm being crushed. Okay, this is a pretty big cocoa mango right here. I don't know which one's gonna be bigger. What the heck? All right, so I can't honestly tell which one's bigger. They're both very close in size. I would do a stud count, but it's kind of hard to tell because this one's all glimmering and magical. I almost want to say this one's bigger right here. They're either the same size or this one's slightly bigger. Oh wait, they have faces on them. Forgot. We can count the studs on the faces. Okay, yeah, this one has about like 5.5 almost studs on the face, and this one only has about 5. So this one's definitely bigger right here. So I think we have our winning cocoa mango. I'm gonna go and pick these ones up, and here we go. Here's our beautiful cocoa mango here. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and put some sprays on this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a chocolate spray on that. We're gonna do a windstruck spray, pollinated. We'll do a honey sprinkler, and then on my main account, I'm gonna go ahead and add a cloud touch spray to that. And there we go. We have our 5 mutations on here that we're going to use to convert this thing to a rainbow cocoa mango. I keep saying cocoa melon, dude. That shows. Yeah, I just have the intro cocoa melon in my head. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and spawn in our queen bee to get the cooldown started with this guy. And we're gonna spawn in our butterfly, and then the queen bee will cool down the butterfly, convert all this to rainbow, and then we can get the show on the road and get a really nice cocoa mango and make some good cash, huh? Wait, is this one bigger? Hold on. No, it's not. Okay. All right, well, our cocoa mango is ready for rainbow conversion, so we're gonna let that happen. And I believe, I mean, we already have a lot of glimmering plants over here, so Spinos will move that over. That's not gonna be a problem right now. And we sugar apple, we have a warp sugar apple, so like all that's good as well. And then I think we might have a chakra one somewhere in there. If not, my main account will probably be moving that over here in a second. My main account will be having its Kitsune come over here in a second and apply chakra either to our cocoa mango or one of our sugar apples, so that shouldn't be a problem. All right, and real quick before we do AFK and wait for this thing to become rainbow, I'm gonna go ahead and favorite it just real quick, and I am going to spawn in my mandrakes here. We're going to get an advanced sprinkler, and I'm just going to watering can some mandrake seeds here to get some mandrakes and hopefully get us the rot mutation on one of our sugar apples so we can add that over to our cocoa mango once it's ready for that. Oh, okay, we had rot spread to one of our other mandrakes, which is interesting, but that works. We're gonna go ahead and add this over here to our little platter of food for our spinos, and there we go. We have the rot mutation ready to go. All right, so I can go ahead and pick up these mandrakes now. We can unfavorite our cocoa mango, and now we can get ready to get rainbow and then get all the mutations applied. And I think while we're AFK, our kitsune is going to apply chakra to something, so we'll check on that once we get back. All right, real quick, our kitsune from my main account did just steal a sugar apple, so we do have chakra applied over there, and he's gonna go hand that off to my main account now. So thanks for stealing that and breaking my heart, but we do have chakra, so we can get that moved over in a little bit with our spinos. All right, so I just boosted my queen bee and it cooled down our butterfly, and our butterfly is now going to convert this to rainbow. All right, there we go. Our cocoa mango is now rainbow, so I go ahead and favorite this so I don't accidentally pick it up, and we are good to start getting some mutations on this thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some sprays. Let's go ahead and put pollinated back onto this, chocolate, wet, and I guess I'll save that glimmering since, you know, when the event ends, we'll need that more later. And then we can go ahead and put our honey sprinkler down on this to get honey glazed. Honey glazed will be back on that now, so we're up to 5 mutations. And then on my main account over here, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the verdant spray. We're going to put cloud touch onto that, and we will put shocked onto that, and now we are up to 8 mutations. And since I have my main account here with some shock sprays, I am going to actually go ahead and plant a couple carrot seeds real quick, and then bring my main account over here with the shock spray to put it on one of my carrots, so that way we have the shocked carrot ready to go, and we can go ahead and spawn in my raiju to eat that, and then it will apply the static mutation around to hopefully my cocoa mango, but if not, one of these sugar apples or one of these other carrots, and we can get static out of the way. And then we're also going to get some of our guaranteed mutations done, so we're going to spawn in our lemon lion so we can get brain rot in about 5 minutes. We'll spawn in our peach wasp so we can get plasma done in about 25 minutes. We'll spawn in a phoenix so we can get flaming done. We'll spawn in cockatrice so we can get toxic done. Or actually, we'll go ahead and spawn in our corrupt kitsune so we can get the corrupt chakra mutation done, and then we'll spawn in a pterodactyl so we can get tempestuous done. So that's a lot of pets that we have now that are pretty much our guaranteed mutations. Again, static, brain rot, plasma, flaming, toxic, corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra, and tempestuous. So that is a lot of pets there, but that will give us some of our guaranteed ones done. I would have used the golden goose as well, but we already got fortune from selling that one egg. Also, perfect timing, we do have a nighttime event so we can get moonlit on our cocoa mango or just one of our sugar apples or carrots, and we can easily get that moved over to this once we use our spinos in a little bit. I guess I'll go ahead, because I ran out of the luminous sprays, I have to go buy more or earn more over there, but since I don't have that right now, I'll also go ahead and spawn in this luminous sprite so we can get that guaranteed mutation done, since the portal will take a little bit of time to get through, and this will only take about 15 minutes, and that's another guaranteed mutation, I believe. Yeah, it's guaranteed, so that will fulfill all of our guaranteed mutations. We already have a ton of glimmering stuff, so we don't really need to use our glimmering sprite right now, but we do need to use the luminous sprite since we don't have any sprays currently for that. But we have a pretty good setup here, so I'm going to be right back while these guys do their cooldowns, and we'll come back in just a minute and we'll get some more mutations done and get our cocoa mango to be big boy. Okay, this is interesting. We got a heat wave during nighttime. I don't know if I've ever really seen this combo before, but with that, I don't know if I have any more tanning mirrors, so it's actually good that I'm here. So I can go ahead and make sure I get tanning mirrors placed down right here so we can get the sun-dried mutation, and then that will also allow us to get paradisal in just a little bit. And with that, our giant bean lemon lion here is about to apply the brain rot mutation, so we go ahead and swap them out. And I forgot, I do need to do the jackalopes before I do the disco bee, since the jackalopes are pretty quick. We'll work on that, but let's go ahead and wait for this guy real quick to give us the brain rot mutation, and then we can probably boost our raiju to shorten his cooldown. Let me see. Yeah, that'll shorten a couple minutes so we can get more jackalopes done. But all right, let's go ahead and get, there we go, we just got sun-dried, so we'll get paradisal done. I think it should actually already be done since we have verdant on there. All right, sorry, my dogs are going crazy, but we got the brain rot mutation done on a sugar apple, so we're good. And we just got paradisal done on our cocoa mango, so that is good. And Hey, why the dog barking? All right, but anyways, let's go ahead and pick up this lemon lion here, and we'll get flaming done in a second. So I guess with that lemon lion being out of the way, we can go ahead and put a jackalope down to start working on getting sandy mutation, and we'll go ahead and add some more jackalopes in once we get the phoenix done and the Raiju done, so we get that sandy mutation done and out of the way. This guy's gonna need another boost though. He's got a fast cooldown, but percent chance is kind of low, so I like to boost him to help us out a little bit. There we go. All right, Phoenix is applying flaming to different fruits, and he actually looks like he applied it directly to our cocoa mango. Yes, he did. All right, perfect. Thank you, my guy. Thank you so much. All right, Phoenix, your job is done. Actually, hold on a minute.
How do we apply flaming when it's literally raining? This game is very unrealistic. My immersion is ruined.
All right, I'm picking up the Phoenix. We're gonna go swap him out with another jackalope, and hopefully we get sandy done here. Raiju will give us static in just a second. Also, do we have shocked on this? Yes, we do. All right, perfect. Cool. All right, yeah, so he'll eat that shock carrot there. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this flaming one. We got a ton of stuff moonlit, and our cocoa mango directly is moonlit, so I'm gonna get rid of some of these moonlit carrots and just plant some new ones, just so we have an easier palette for our Spinos. All right, Raiju ate the carrot, and he just applied static to a sugar apple and some carrots, so he is good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these static carrot since he got on a sugar apple over there. Again, just to make it easier for our Spinos in a little bit, let's go ahead and pick him up. My poor little jackalopes are failing at life. Oh no. Let's go ahead and spawn another one in. We gotta get sandy done, guys. Come on, hurry up. Give us sandy. We need some sandy done and out of the way. All right, we got things to do. All right, we got Twisted and Windstruck, which means we got Tempestuous. We are done with our Pterodactyl here, so that is good. We can move him out of the way, and we have all of our jackalopes spawned in, so now we can start adding in some disco bees into the mix to give us the disco mutation, hopefully, and then we'll work on chicken zombies after that. Come on, guys, stop failing me. Get sandy on something, please. Sandy, 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 please, sandy. All right, we got sandy added to a carrot, and an earthquake is happening. I channeled an energy I did not mean to channel, I guess. Anyways, our cockatrice just applied toxic to a sugar apple over here, so that is another mutation done. We can go ahead and pick up the cockatrice here. He is done with his job, and then we'll get luminous done in just a second here. We'll go ahead and boost that sprite to save some time. Oh, look at that. We just got Foxfire Chakra finally, dude. We never get Foxfire Chakra, but we just got it on a carrot. All right, let's go and move that to the buffet platter as well. There we go. We got Foxfire Chakra. Oh, and we got a meteor shower. We got Celestial happening. Hold on. I think I have a star caller in there, but I'll put another one down just in case. There we go. Put one in that corner. I guess I'll put another one down over here for the carrots just in case, just so we can make sure we get Celestial done. All right, cool. Yeah, all these are Celestial now. Perfect. We're good. And go ahead and travel this over here. So we do have all of our disco bees here. We have 4 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and start placing down some chicken zombies as well into the mix. We can only do 1 right now, but once the sprite is done, we can go ahead and put down another chicken zombie. Well, our cocoa mango is Celestial now. That's perfect, actually. So we really don't even need this carrot over here. I guess I can pick it up just to save some time for later. All right, luminous sprite, stop making weird noises and give us that luminous mutation so I can add in another chicken zombie here. And then I guess I could probably boost my corrupt kitsune in a second so we can get corrupt chakra done and out of the way. All right, he's going to apply luminous to something. It looks like he's targeting a carrot. He is targeting a carrot. He's spinning around the carrot, and we got luminous added to the carrot. Thank you so much for that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and travel this over here to our platter. That actually looks cool. Sorry, I have problems. Anyways, that is done. Let's go ahead and pick up this luminous sprite, get him out of the way, and replace him with another chicken zombie so we get zombified done, hopefully. And then we're going to wait just a second here to get corrupt chakra done. All right, so our corrupt kitsune is going to give us corrupt chakra. Hopefully we'll get corrupt foxfire chakra so we can get ascended chakra and get that really nice multiplier. But if not, I'm gonna go ahead and, well, let's just see what he does real quick. All right, so we just got corrupt chakra. All right, so we at least have corrupt chakra done, which is nice. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up for now so we can focus on getting the other, I guess, guaranteed mutations done. And we can spawn in another chicken zombie here to get zombified done. So I did boost all my disco bees here, so hopefully we can get disco done. This Jax one is about to try and apply it, so hopefully that'll be, please, disco. Failed. Okay, usually they fail a couple times. All right, that's fine. I just kicked my chair and that hurt really bad. Ow. All right, Peach Wasp is stinging that disco bee. Let's see if we get disco from that one. Failed. Okay, well, that doesn't help me there. All right, well, we still have 2 more disco bees with their cooldowns almost done. So let's see. Let's just see if we get it done before we get plasma done with our Peach Wasp. That'd be nice. All right, come on. Come on, disco bees. Please give us disco so we can just get the chicken zombies done, and then we can get this AFK grind on the way, guys. Come on. Please, look at me. I'm so sad. All right, let's see it. Disco. Disco failed. All right, we got one more disco bee, and then we gotta wait for the cooldowns again. Come on, Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, I don't like you. I really don't like you. You are our last hope, and now I have no hope. My heart's ruined. But at least Peach Wasp is going to give us plasma. There we go. We got plasma added to a carrot. So thanks for that, Peach Wasp. I'm going to go ahead and move this plasma carrot to our platter. And we're good. I'm going to pick up the rest of these carrots since they're kind of done with that right now. And let's go ahead and pick up the Peach Wasp and throw in one more chicken zombie into the mix. And now we have 4 and 4. So hopefully we can get Disco done, Zombified done, and then we can stop crying and we can go AFK with our nice AFK setup. All right, so we finally got the Disco mutation applied to a carrot down here, I think. Yeah, right there in the sandy carrot. So Disco is officially done. We can go ahead and pick up these Disco bees. And now it's on to just trying to get Zombified. We have one of our chicken zombies about to be done with its cooldown. I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my last chicken zombie here and a Mimic Octopus just to try and help speed this up in case this one fails. Let's see if Bella comes in clutch. Otherwise, we have a ton of other chicken zombies now that we can use. Let's see. Failed. Okay, well, at least we have 5 chicken zombies spawned in now and a Mimic Octopus, so we have 6 pets to try and give us Zombified. Hopefully we'll be able to get Zombified done very soon, but I guess because we do have all these guys working on giving us Zombified, we can go ahead and spawn in a couple of our AFK pets, like the gnome here and the Spriggan, since these are our 2 highest chance ones. And if these guys give us their mutations, then we'll be able to spawn in 2 lobsters whenever we do the AFK grind. All right, so we just had one of our chicken zombies actually apply the Zombified mutation to a sugar apple over here. Oh, there it is down there. All right, so Zombified is officially done, and that is ready to go. So we can go ahead and pick up all of our chicken zombies here and our Mimic Octopus. And so we have the gnome and the Spriggan spawned in. So let's go ahead and get the rest of our AFK pets ready to go and get all the rest of our mutations done, and then we can focus on getting these Spinos to move these guys their mutations over. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a lobster. We're gonna spawn in our aromatic spaghetti slot to get aromatic pasta sauce and meatballs, so that will mix into the spaghetti mutation. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in our junk bot for the oil mutation, our tranquil scarlet for the tranquil mutation. We'll spawn in our corrupt scarlet for the corrupt mutation, and let's see, we're missing one other pet here. Ah, the griffin. All right, I figured there was one. So the griffin will give us cyclonic, and then that will turn into maelstrom, and then eventually we can get storm charged with that. So that'll be some extra mutations, lots of extra multipliers, and we can make some good money. So we have our nice AFK setup ready here. We got to get all these mutations done. Once we get one of these done, I'm going to swap out with the kappa. The second one I'll swap out with another kappa, and then I think the third one I'll swap out with the corrupt kitsune again, so we could try to get foxfire corrupt chakra, and then I will swap out the rest with some Spinos and our Ascended Mooncat just in case we can try to get Dawnbound. I forgot to actually spawn in my Mooncat after last video to try and get Dawnbound on something so we can use a T-Rex to multiply it, but I'm going to try to do that today after this video if we don't get it by the time I'm done recording. All right, but anyways, I'll be right back. I think we're good to go, and it's time to AFK and get these mutations done. All right, so after our first round of AFKing, I came back, and it looks like we do have Corrupt done, which is awesome, so I can go ahead and pick up our Corrupted Scarlet here. His job has been completed. And then looking through some of these other fruits that we do have a carrot with gnomed on it, so our gnome is also done. We can go ahead and pick him up as well and get him out of the way, as that's another one done. And I looked through all this. I didn't really see anything else that was completed. We did get sauce done, but we still need meatball, pasta, and aromatic. And we did get sauce done a couple of times, so our spaghetti sauce just really likes sauce today apparently. And yeah, I didn't really see anything else on the sugar apples. It's kind of hard to tell because there's so many of them stacked together, but I don't see anything else that got done. However, I did come back from being AFK, and right when I did come back, I did notice on our cocoa mango here, we did get molten as soon as I got back from AFK, which just converted over to blazing. So once we get meteoric, that can become infernal, which will be even a better multiplier buff. But anyways, since we did get 2 of our pets done, and our Spriggan, actually, let's see if our Spriggan will give us bloom real quick. I'm gonna boost him. If we get bloom done, that'd be nice. Let's see. Oh, look at that. We got 1 fruit done with bloom. That is perfect. I don't know what got done with bloom, but something got done with bloom. I think one of our sugar apples. So there it is. So bloom is also done. Now we can go ahead and pick up our Spriggan. But we do have 3 slots open. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in some kappas here. And I'm also going to go ahead and put down some carrot seeds over here for our kappas. Help with getting the bloodlet mutation done. So there we go. There's 12 carrots for them to work with. And since they're spawned in, I'm going to go ahead and also spawn back in my my corrupt kitsune to try and get Foxfire corrupt chakra while we AFK a little bit longer. And then once some more of these guys finish up with their mutations, we're going to swap out and start putting some Spinos in here. But so far, some pretty good progress. So we actually have Bloodlet done, which means we can go ahead and get rid of these 2 Kappas that we have. We also did get Oil done from our junk bot, so we can go ahead and also pick up our junk bot since he is done. And we did get Tranquil from our other Scarlet, so we can go ahead and pick up our Scarlet here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another Lobster just so we can try and help that one get Meteoric done a little bit faster. I will boost this one though real quick to see if we can get that finished. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Lobster just applied Meteoric to one of our Mandrakes, so that's actually perfect. We can go ahead and pick up our Lobsters now, so those guys are done. And let's see if our Spaghetti Sauce gives us Meatball finally. Okay, another sauce, but that's fine. He has time. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and also boost my Griffin here to see if we can get Cyclonic done a little bit faster. And doesn't look like we got Cyclonic still. Let me check this. Yeah, so no Cyclonic, but that's fine. We'll let him keep doing his thing. But all right, we did make some pretty good progress here though. So that means we can go ahead and officially spawn in our Ascended Mooncat to try and get Dawnbound done, depending on how long it takes for our Spinos to move everything over. So I'll go ahead and get that started. I'm going to pick up some of these carrots that we don't need. I'm going to go ahead and move the good ones over though that we do need. So this one with oil, I'm going to go put that over here. I'll move the Tranquil one over there, and I'll move this Bloodlet one over here, and we can go ahead and pick up all these other ones since we don't really need any of these other mutations. We have all those, and I think we're good. So now that we have that Ascended Mooncat spawned in, we can go ahead and get all of our Spinos spawned in as well. So let's go ahead and get these Spinos spawned in. We have 2 megas, 2 normal ones, and that will get a ton of mutations moved over, and we can get them all put on to our big Cocoa Mango here and get a maxed out Cocoa Mango with all the mutations on it. So we made some pretty good progress so far. This one's actually going a lot faster. Our pets are helping us out, giving us all the mutations that we need, which is perfect. So now we're just going to go ahead and AFK, wait for these Spinos to move everything over. And in the meantime, while they are moving stuff over, we just got to wait for that, hopefully, Foxfire Corrupt Chakra to get added to something Cyclonic. And then we still need Meatball and Aromatic, but we're almost there. So lots of great progress so far. All right, so after about 4 hours of AFKing, we did get everything moved over to our Cocoa Mango here. The only thing is, for some reason, we haven't been able to get Aromatic, and we also have not been able to get Foxfire Corrupt Chakra. I don't know why those two are struggling. Usually we get Aromatic pretty early on, but it has literally not gotten added to anything at all. So I don't know why. But besides that, we do have about 32 mutations on our Cocoa Mango, and if we separate Spaghetti here, we'd be up to 34. If we separated Harmonized Chakra, 35, Gloom 36, Paradisal 37, Storm Charge would be about 41, and I think we'd be up to probably about like 44. So if we did get Ceramic, and we got this converted to Ceramic. I don't know why I didn't convert. I think it's because we got Infernal done too early before it was able to convert Sandy to Clay and then Ceramic. We also got Frozen, I think, before the Sandy was able to get Clay. So that kind of messed it up, and we also did not get Aromatic added onto it. And we also did not get our Dawnbound done. It's been hours, and this guy is still trying here. But we have about 2 hours left, so I'm probably just going to AFK after I finish this video and let our Mooncat apply this to a carrot or something like that, just so we have a Dawnbound item for the next video. But anyways, I think this is a pretty good stopping point. I wanted to get Aromatic and I wanted to get Ascended Chakra done, but I don't know why I'm not having any luck getting either of those right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just call it here, and we're going to at least try to get Amber done still. The other thing is we did get some other events happening. Like we did get the Earthquake event, and we did not get Cracked, and we did get some other events as well while I was AFKing, and we didn't get really any of the event mutations like Cracked, Aurora, Acid, or Acidic, I guess. And yeah, I don't know why, but anyways, we are going to go ahead and spawn in 7 Raptors. I would do all 8, but I'm going to let that Mooncat finish up its job there, and I'm going to go ahead and boost these guys with my toys here. All right, everyone is now boosted, and we are good to pick up the Cocoa Melon for the Cocoa Mango. Sorry, I keep saying Cocoa Melon, bro. I don't know why. All right, but let's see if we can get Amber applied to this now.
Nope.
Okay, we did not get Amber applied to this, but we... What the heck was that, bro? What was that sound? That kind of just scared me, but wait, is it this? It is this, bro. The Cocoa Mango's making weird sounds. Okay, that's terrifying. But anyways, here's our Cocoa Mango with all these mutations on it in all of its glory. Now, I wish we got a little bit of a bigger Cocoa Mango here, but this is decent size. So I guess with this and all the mutations, I don't know what we can expect for the price, but hopefully we get something good. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to Steven here. Without further ado, let's see how much this Cocoa Mango is worth. All right, we actually hit perfectly on the 1 trillion mark, which is crazy. So if we did get aromatic added and we did get ascended chakra, we would have been past 1 trillion, which would have been insane. So the cocoa mango is actually very, very good. I'm actually really happy with that amount. I honestly didn't expect to have that much of a value, but it did pretty good, and it makes this sound. So anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Is the cocoa mango worth it in your opinion? If it is, drop a like on the video, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.